Known as the god of death of Konoha, this video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 76. 4 years later, Bai Yu appears. The 38th year of Konoha. The beginning of the year. Just after the new year. Baifu. Long black hair. Curvy. Gentle as water. Gentle and lovely. The wavy yellow hair is soft and charming. Unrestrained but not greasy. Noble and mature with gentleness. The silver grey hair moves with the wind, and the face is cold and smiling. It looks like a soft almond-shaped tie, but in fact, it is full of momentum and pride. It's Uchiha Mikoto, Tsunade, and Bai Yu. Uchiha Mikoto doesn't need to be mentioned. In 4 years, she still lost her immature girlish appearance. Bai Yu replenished Tsunade's vitality for 60 years. She looks the same age as Uchiha Mikoto, but her figure is getting better. HMM. After years of precipitation, although Bai Yu is still beautiful, no one will regard Bai Yu as a woman anymore, but from the bottom of their hearts. In the past 4 years, Bai Yu's dragon group has a shocking completion rate. Every member of the dragon group is not only loyal, but also very powerful. After 4 years of development, each member of the dragon group has the cultivation of an elite jonin, and has his own unique ninjutsu and taijutsu. Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted Bai Yu to give him a few more than once. Bai Yu would tell Sarutobi Hiruzen that he could ask his brothers himself, and as long as they are willing, I would not stop him. Not only that, Bai Yu successfully cooperated with the family called the Number in the village for a win-win situation. As long as it is a family, there is a cooperative relationship with Bai Yu. Bai Yu has accumulated a lot of connections. The most important thing is that something happened to the 11 members of the dragon group. To be precise, it was Uchiha Genji who had an accident. For 4 years, Bai Yu has never forgotten the white thing that he regarded as a shame. A few days ago, Dragon Soul, which is the name of the dragon group 11 in the black market, received news. When Dragon Soul was performing an SSS level mission, the intelligence was leaked, which attracted a large number of rebellious ninjas and ninjas from various villages. Although the mission was successfully completed, Yamamoto Takuchi, Mitsunobu Ayuki, and Sato Ryota sacrificed. Uchiha Genji, who witnessed the tragic death of his comrades, opened the Manjaki Sharingan. A white man, who called himself White Zetsu, invited Uchiha Genji to participate in a project called Moonai Project. He also invited Hinata Asakura and others, but no one agreed. The next day, an old man with terrifying strength took Uchiha Genji away. Shockingly, the old man also had Sharingan, and the information just arrived in Bai Yu's hands. My brother. Damn White Zetsu. Damn it. Brother. Bai Yu looked at the information in his hand with red eyes. A wave of grief and anger enveloped Baifu. Bai Yu. On the left and right, a gentle embrace appeared and hugged Bai Yu. Why? Are you stupid? You know that the mission information has been leaked, but you still go on the mission. Safety. I clearly emphasized it. Tears fell quietly from the corners of Bai Yu's eyes. The tone became choked. Seeing Bai Yu's appearance, Tsunade and Mikoto couldn't help but cry. Who is that old thief? I hate him. Ah. Bai Yu couldn't control his killing intent and roared madly. Sure. Hatake Tsukumo appeared in Bai's house. He just went to send Kakashi to the ninja school. He just passed by Bai's house and felt the killing intent. His face was stunned, then sank, and he appeared in Bai's house. Brother Yu, what are you doing? Bai Yu's appearance scared Hatake Tsukumo. When he saw Bai Yu, his long silver grey hair moved without wind. His eyes were red, looking at the scroll in his hand. 2 lines of tears kept flowing, and his face was hideous. The whole Bai's house was filled with grief and killing intent. Tsunade and Uchiha Mikoto hugged Bai Yu on the left and right, and there were 2 lines of tears on their faces. My brother died in the mission. Bai Yu looked at Hatake Tsukumo's hoarse voice, which made people feel sad. Ninjas take completing missions as their first duty. They are excellent ninjas. I'm proud of them. Hatake Tsukumo was silent for a while and said solemnly, yes, the mission is important. But in my eyes, every one of my brothers is more important than the mission. If the mission is gone, there is still life, but if the people are gone, they are really gone. If the mission is the rule of the ninja world, those who break the rules are trash. But in my eyes, Bai Yu, those who don't cherish their companions are even worse than trash. So, before leaving, I clearly emphasized safety. Why didn't you listen? Why didn't you think about it carefully before taking action? Bai Yu felt a tightness in his chest. Hatake Tsukumo was silent. This question has always been unsolved in his mind, but Bai Yu's words today shocked Hatake Tsukumo. He found that, if it was him, the answer would be surprisingly consistent with Bai Yu. It was still that underground dark room. Is this kid still unwilling to join the plan? Uchiha Madara's old voice made people want to cry. Yes, I checked it clearly. There is no other seal except the eyes. Why is he so loyal to Bai Yu? Should I erase his memory and let him go? Oh, it's a waste of these two Sharingans. They can't be used, even if I take them off. Baizetsu still said meanly. No, I want to test Bai Yu's ability myself. See how he dances in front of me. See if Bai Yu can successfully rescue Uchiha Genji in my hands. But the location needs to be changed. Uchiha Madara waited for me with a confident tone. Aha. Go out and rent a house. Leave home and live somewhere else. I remember that's how they describe it. I'm so happy that Baizetsu is renting a house for the first time. Baizetsu said with a big smile. Go quickly. Uchiha Madara glanced at Baizetsu and said expressionlessly. Yes, I will find a very comfortable house. After Baizetsu finished speaking, his body gradually melted into the soil. Uchiha Madara glanced at the other end of the dark room, where Uchiha Genji was lying, but motionless, as if he was sealed. In fact, he was under Uchiha Madara's illusion. Then Uchiha Madara closed his eyes. Close your eyes and rest. Tsunade, you and Mikoto take care of the dragon group. I'm going out to rescue my brothers. Asakura and the others are on their way back. Send brothers to pick them up. I don't want anyone else to get into trouble. Bai Yu finished speaking. Of course, he would chat with Bai Long, whom he hadn't seen for 4 years. Ignoring everyone, he stood on top of Bai Long and flew into the sky. Hiss Bai Long's cheerful dragon roar. Bai Yu soon came to the place where Uchiha Genji disappeared as mentioned in the intelligence. Dharma Eye. Open. Bai Yu opened the Dharma Eye. Searched around. Unfortunately, there was no clue. Suddenly, a malicious intent spread towards Bai Yu from not far behind him. Bai Yu did not hesitate. With a wave of his hand, the Bai Yu sword circulated in the air and flew into Bai Yu's hand. At the same time, a sword energy pierced the source of the malicious intent. Yo. It's been 4 years since we last met, Bai Yu. It seems that you have become stronger. I wanted to tell you the location of Uchiha Genji, but you killed me. I'm dying. It's too late to tell you. Bye. Baizetsu said with a smile. He then lay on the ground. Damn, he's so slow. He could have said it. Bai Yu was speechless. Dang. You've been fooled. That's my clone. This is me. Baizetsu's figure reappeared next to the corpse on the ground, making a dazzling appearance. Bai Yu really wanted to chop it with a sword, but he held back. Remember to add a skirt. If you don't know, it's in the previous chapters. Haha. Chapter 77 Uchiha Madara. Want to meet Uchiha Genji? Come with me. Are you really not my brother? My name is Baizetsu, and your name is Bai Yu. Baizetsu said with a smile, not caring at all whether Bai Yu would chop him with a sword. Bai Yu, can you turn into liquid like me? Baizetsu said, turning into a pool. Then he recovered again. Bai Yu did not speak. Okay, you are really not my brother. Bai Yu injured the offensive of the chatterbox. Baizetsu had an attitude of if I can't beat you, I will grind you to death. And he also made 100,000 cold jokes. With the guidance of Baizetsu, they came to a basement with dim light. It was completely dependent on the light of candles, but this did not affect Bai Yu who had his Dharma Eyes open. At this time, Bai Yu felt a majestic and dark power. Although it was slowly weakening, it should not be underestimated. This kind of power can only be countered by turning on the Sage mode. Bai Yu couldn't help but look solemn. Lord Madara. That Bai Yu who pretended to be my brother is here. In the hall, Baizetsu turned into liquid and came to Uchiha Madara and said. Uchiha Genji was lying quietly beside him. his chest rising and falling slightly, but he was still alive. WTM. Bai Yu was really furious when he heard this. Who are you? Bai Yu grabbed the Bai Yu sword and asked coldly. The sword pointed at Uchiha Madara. You will know in the future. Let me see your capacity. Uchiha Madara pulled out the tube behind him, and a trace of expectation flashed in his old eyes. Hey, I never hit old people. Don't be impulsive. Bai Yu said with a trace of helplessness in his eyes. Humph. Sharingan. Uchiha Madara snorted coldly, and the originally black eyeball suddenly turned into a Mangekyo Sharingan. A touch of purple light hit Bai Yu heavily. The speed was so fast that even Bai Yu didn't react for a while. Bang! Bai Yu hit the wall behind him heavily. Is that all you can do? Uchiha Madara said sarcastically. Ahem, you old thief are so cruel. I'm going to be serious. Bai Yu spat out a mouthful of blood. It doesn't matter, it's just bleeding gums. Looking at Uchiha Madara's appearance, his face couldn't help but be a little solemn. Half a skeleton, covering Uchiha Madara. Purple chakra. Full of darkness. Is this Susanoo? It's really awesome. After a fight, Bai Yu knew that this time, it was the most difficult battle in history. Sage mode. Thunder. Bai Yu once again activated the Sage mode that had not been activated for a long time. Black eye shadow appeared, and the Teikai diagram also appeared between Bai Yu's eyebrows. The dark purple thunder chakra lingered around his body. Once again, it might be the success of his telepathy, and his perception of natural energy was stronger than before. This is Sage mode. Haha. Bai Yu, dance. Let me see your capacity. Uchiha Madara laughed wildly, and his old voice was full of heroism. Then, the Susanoo that enveloped Uchiha Madara waved its fist at Bai Yu again. Old thief. You force me to do this. A sword from the west. A moment of splendor. Bai Yu condensed the chakra into the Bai Yu sword, and the dark purple brilliance suddenly stopped. And Bai Yu's figure gradually disappeared from the original position. Appeared in front of Susanoo, only one energy wall away from Uchiha Madara. A large number of fragments appeared on Susanoo, but it was blocked after all. Okay, old thief, look at my move. Dragon roaring 9 continents. Bai Yu's eyes were fierce. This move was Bai Yu's strongest move in his previous life. Of course, he could only use the method of praying to the gods before, but now, with the support of huge chakra, Bai Yu's instant body technique instantly retreated a distance. 9 dark purple sword ki formed a dragon, with a sharp dragon roar, rushing towards Uchiha Madara. Susanoo. Second form. Uchiha Madara used the Mangekyo Sharingan to perform Susanoo, and it changed instantly. Susanoo, which was originally half a skeleton, instantly grew meridians and blood vessels. Bang! Susanoo was only shocked for a moment, and then condensed a long sword, and slashed at Bai Yu. Come on. Look at my 100 birds paying homage to the phoenix. The galaxy is annihilated. Seeing this, Bai Yu did not hesitate and began to attack Susanoo continuously. For a moment, dust flew. The originally huge dark room was instantly pierced. The sun shone through, shining on this square pit. The sword energy filled the sky. Bai Yu's figure kept flashing. Susanoo's terrifying defense and attack power shocked Bai Yu's heart unprecedentedly. Who is this old thief? Why is he so strong? Exclamation mark. Immortal sword art. Dugu 9 swords. Bai Yu once again output with all his strength. The Bai Yu sword in Bai Yu's hand turned into a sharp giant sword. Of course, this is because the chakra is condensed together. Susanoo. Third form. Susanoo, which originally grew meridians and blood, put on a layer of armor on the outside. It looks a bit like the Tengu armor recorded in the data. Susanoo swung a sword at Bai Yu at a weird angle and speed. Sword swinging style. Bai Yu's eyes were extremely serious. The giant long sword in his hand changed into several sword shadows. Keng. The long sword in Susanoo's hand was swung away. But in an instant, Susanoo stabilized and then chopped towards Bai Yu again. Broken sword style. The long sword in Bai Yu's hand grasped a position. Shake Susanoo's long sword away again. Inch power. Collapse. A pit appeared under Bai Yu's feet, and then his figure was like a flash of lightning. Inch power. Immortal sword technique. Split light and slash shadow. Bai Yu, with the blessing of strength and immortal thunder chakra, successfully shattered Susanoo's armor. Fire style. Dragon Flame Song Technique. Just when Bai Yu was about to stab Uchiha Madara's body with a sword, Uchiha Madara, a fire-style ninjutsu. Attack Bai Yu. HMPH. Old thief, you're quite good at playing. Bai Yu was instantly knocked away by the impact of the ninjutsu attack. However, the 4 dragon-shaped flames were all contained by Bai Yu's crotch. Bai Yu roared unwillingly. Then Bai Yu panted a few times and forced himself to calm down. I have to say that the Sage mode really consumes chakra. Secretly absorbed natural energy. Bai Yu, your swordsmanship. I, Uchiha Madara, call you the strongest in Konoha. Come on. Keep dancing. Susanoo. The 4th form. Uchiha Madara shouted excitedly. Susanoo actually changed into the lower body. The long sword in his hand became more solid, and a crossbow-shaped weapon appeared in his left hand. Uchiha Madara. Impossible. Aren't you already dead? A hint of difference appeared on Bai Yu's face. He shouted in surprise. Haha. As a legend in the ninja world, how could I die so easily? But it will be soon. When my plan is completed, I hope to see you dancing again. Bai Yu. Yasuka no Magatama. Uchiha Madara's eyes flashed with interest. Then Susanoo shot an arrow from the crossbow in his hand, which flew towards Bai Yu. At this moment, Bai Yu's expression suddenly changed color. Chapter 78 Uchiha Madara's Strength. Sword Control Technique. Bai Yu used the strongest sword technique at present. Sword Control Technique. Control the sword with God. Control the sword with chakra. The two want to achieve the strongest sword technique together. Sword Control Technique. Sword Control Technique. Control. The lightning chakra around Bai Yu's sword was quickly absorbed into the sword body. The cold sword body of Bai Yu's sword, dark purple chakra flowed, quickly turned into a real giant sword. Uchiha Madara saw Bai Yu's right hand sword finger erected in front of him, and the magical sword technique of Bai Yu's sword quickly enlarged. His eyes were full of interest. Now, Bai Yu, your swordsmanship. I, Uchiha Madara, call you the strongest I have ever seen in my life. Keep dancing. Let me see what kind of capacity your swordsmanship has. Uchiha Madara said with great passion, as if he was 30 years younger. Well, I call you Master Madara. I, Bai Yu, also call you the strongest I have ever seen in my life. Sword Control Technique. One sword becomes 1,000, or 1,000 becomes 10,000. 10,000 swords return to the origin. Bai Yu was not vague. He immediately responded. Then he made his hands into sword fingers, controlling the white feather sword. He transformed into countless long swords. The chakra in his body was also consumed greatly. The white feather swords in the sky began to attack Uchiha Madara non-stop. Unfortunately, the 10,000 swords returned to the origin could only barely resist the advance of Susanoo. There was no substantial damage to Uchiha Madara. Okay, you are awesome. Zyao, come out and fight. Bai Yu recalled the white feather sword. He shouted angrily. Hiss. Bailong appeared in the sky. Roar. Bailong saw Uchiha Madara, and his huge dragon eyes showed a trace of caution. It can be seen how strong Uchiha Madara is. Bailong exerted the natural energy of water attribute. This can no longer be said to be water attribute, because the coldness attached to the energy makes people feel cold deep in their souls. Bai Yu, you really make me very excited. Susanoo. Complete form. With the roar of Uchiha Madara, wings grew behind Susanoo. Uchiha Madara slowly ascended into the center of Susanoo's brow. Susanoo's wings spread out and flapped gently. Uchiha Madara ascended into the sky. How dare you ascend into the air in front of me? Immortal technique. Heaven and Earth Thunder Prison. As Bai Yu's chakra was output crazily, suddenly, the sky and the earth changed color. Dark clouds gathered. Boom! Exclamation mark. Crack. Or Thunder Prison fell from the sky, straight onto Susanoo. HMPH. Susanoo slashed a sword toward the sky. The Thunder Prison shattered. However, the light of Susanoo also dimmed a little. Immortal technique. Water Misty. Come and try my new ninjutsu. HMPH. Bai Yu's chakra was output crazily again. The huge consumption made Bai Yu's face a little hideous. This move is a chakra attribute that Bai Yu transformed based on Bailong's energy. Water attribute, but without Bailong's energy, the power of the spell he cast was too low, and Bai Yu had always ignored it. Only when he fought with Bailong could he remember it. After Bai Yu performed this magic, the originally dark sky began to rain. But the strange thing was that after the raindrops fell, they turned into white mist. Then, wherever it passed, there was a layer of frost condensed, echoing the energy of Bai Long. The Susanoo in the sky was gradually covered with a layer of frost. Fire escape. Dust hiding technique. Uchiha Madara is indeed a legendary figure in the ninja world. Under such a strong cold, Bai Yu actually felt a hint of warmth. Bang! The ninjutsu released by Uchiha Madara began to explode. The grey fog blocked Bai Yu's realization. But this did not affect Bai Yu, who opened the Dharma Eye. Susanoo moved. A sword slashed at Bai Long. I can let you touch my Xiao Bei. What a joke. Come and try this. Old thief. Desperate stare. Bai Yu performed the pupil technique for the first time. The originally black and white eyes turned grey in an instant. The pupil power fluctuated in a strange way. Staring at Uchiha Madara, Susanoo stopped the action in his hand. Uchiha Madara felt a trace of despair in his heart. All the past things suddenly emerged in his mind. No, this is an illusion. What kind of eyes are these? Even I can be tricked. Humph. Uchiha Madara is worthy of being the ancestor of the Sharingan. In an instant, Bai Yu's pupil technique was broken. Puff. Bai Yu's technique was broken, and a mouthful of blood gushed out of his mouth. Oh my god, is the backlash so strong? Senjutsu. Wind sweeps the clouds. Bai Yu wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth with his right hand, and released another ninjutsu. The wind is like a blade, forming a tornado, sweeping all the objects around. Susanoo became the focus of greeting. Susanoo's armor finally cracked under the rapid cutting. Senjutsu. Fire and flame. Give you another dessert. A crazy look flashed in Bai Yu's eyes. Flame. Endless flames joined the tornado, and the fire borrowed the wind. Susanoo's rupture speed is getting faster. Uchiha Madara just wanted to strengthen the strength of Susanoo. However, his body is already weak, and is about to collapse. He needs to use the power of the stone statue immediately. Only then can he recover, and delay the time of death. Uchiha Madara no longer hesitated. Susanoo flashed a ray of brilliance. It broke Bai Yu's magic. It landed quickly. White Zetsu. Uchiha Madara glanced at Bai Yu, who was breathing heavily, and whispered, "Hey, here comes Lord Madara. Wear me." Haha. White Zetsu turned into liquid, and attached to Uchiha Madara's body. He disappeared with Uchiha Madara. Before disappearing, Uchiha Madara's voice reached Bai Yu's ears. "I will die soon. I hope that, when my plan succeeds, I can still see you dancing after I revive. Then, I will fight with you to my heart's content." Bai Yu. Oh my god. This is not his strongest time. After all, he is old now. It seems that I have to find a way to improve my strength. I hope he will still be the same when he revives. That would be great. But, it is probably impossible. Bai Yu exited the sage mode and passed out under the protection of Bai Long. Fighting is not that simple. At this time, Bai Yu only had a trace of chakra running in his body. This consumption is unprecedented. Fortunately, Uchiha Genji was saved. It was still the same dark room. Uchiha Madara was connected to the tube again. "Lord Madara, you consumed too much this time. Your body is collapsing much faster," Baizetsu said with a smile. "No problem. Bai Yu is a very capable guy. Only when I'm at my prime can I kill him. I hope that, when I meet Bai Yu next time, he will have grown up a little. That will be fun. I'm still looking forward to seeing this guy dancing in front of me," Uchiha Madara said lightly. "Don't worry, this guy's growing very fast. Recently, the ninja world has been a little bit unstable again. Moreover, I have also found a good seedling who can inherit Madara-sama. He is stupid, easy to fool, and talented. This kind of person can open the Sharingan to a large extent after losing his loved ones. But he is still too young now, and it is just suitable," Baizetsu said. "Well, continue to observe, and once it meets the requirements, take action immediately." Uchiha Madara closed his eyes after speaking. Baizetsu did not disturb Uchiha Madara, but his body turned into a puddle and disappeared. "I don't expect rewards or anything. I will thank God if someone reads it after I put it on the shelves." Woohoo 20th. Chapter 79 Public Opinion Storm. 3 days have passed since Bai Yu fainted. Konoha village has once again set off a wave of public opinion. Have you heard? Lord Bai Yu, several members of the dragon team sacrificed themselves for the mission. I also heard that Lord Bai Yu scolded the team members as trash and then personally took action. No way. Lord Bai Yu is not that kind of person. I don't know. Could it be that someone in the upper echelons is framing Lord Bai Yu? Who knows? Now the list of sacrifices has been announced, and Lord Bai Yu did not attend the memorial service. It seems that he is not in the village now. But I heard that the members of the dragon team who escaped back have been hospitalized. Lady Tsunade has been stationed in the Konoha hospital. But I still don't believe that Lord Bai Yu is the kind of person who sacrifices members for the mission. But the mission is more important than one's own life in the eyes of a ninja. I think Lord Bai Yu did nothing wrong. But, although Lord Bai Yu is not wrong, this way of doing things, if it is true, it is really chilling. Who is the bastard who spread the rumor? Beifu. Tsunade sat at the table with an angry face. Sister, I think the most urgent thing is not to find that bastard who spread rumors, but to help you solve this problem. Uchiha Mikoto was no longer as naive as before, and said calmly, but this mission is not a mission for the village. It's a mission for the black market. How do you say it? The members of the dragon group went to the black market to accept the mission? Isn't that a handle? There is no way to explain it. Tsunade frowned and said in a deep voice, why don't we invite Lord Hatake Tsukumo to study it? Uchiha Mikoto said, after thinking for a moment. Well, that's the only way. If I knew that bastard, I would twist his head off. I, Tsunade, have been gentle for too long. Bang a solid wooden table. Suddenly sister. That table seems to be Yu's favorite one. Uchiha Mikoto said with a twitch of the corner of her mouth. Isn't the passbook with you? Get another one. Humph, you don't even keep the passbook with me. Sister, give me 20 million. I'll go and have some fun and relieve the boredom in my heart. Tsunade's eyes were a little flustered, and then she pretended to be calm. In fact, with Tsunade's personality, how could she be so well behaved? How could she be like a different person? Isn't it Bai Yu's family rules? Some people are not destined to be a princess, but have princess syndrome. Some people have both the fate of a princess and the princess syndrome. Such people have to be treated. How to treat? Just like Bai Yu treats. But Uchiha Mikoto is different. She has the fate of a princess, but not the princess syndrome. Such people can take charge of the financial power with peace of mind. Sister, that table is worth 1,000 taels. So I can only give you 1,000 taels. You can't tell you that sister broke your favorite table. Give sister 2,000 taels to play with. Sister, I might also be scolded by you. Uchiha Mikoto said with a smile. Okay, got it. I'll be back soon. It's noon now, and I'll be back almost at dinner time. Then invite Hatake Tsukumo to come over for dinner. I haven't seen that brat Kakashi for a long time. Let's call him together. Make sure to fix the table. Make it look old. Tsunade told Uchiha Mikoto about the table. Then she ran out happily with 1,000 taels of banknotes. In the past few days, Uchiha Mikoto finally understood why Bai Yu gave her the money to manage. Uchiha Mikoto first went to buy a table, and then came to Hatake Tsukumo's office, inviting him to dinner at home in the evening to discuss Bai Yu's affairs. Actually, when writing this, the author coughed. Do you know the Hatake next door? But it's impossible. Haha. Hatake Tsukumo naturally knew about Bai Yu's public opinion, and as a friend for many years, Hatake Tsukumo had already thought of a countermeasure. But when he thought of Bai Yu's family, he couldn't help but be a little surprised at the combination of this family. One makes money, one is a housekeeper, and one is a spendthrift. But it's also very reasonable. Before dinner time, Tsunade returned home with 3 IOUs with a look of dissatisfaction, and threw them to Uchiha Mikoto. Ignoring Uchiha Mikoto's sad face. Take a shower and change clothes. Uchiha Mikoto took out 2 wallets, both bought for her by Bai Yu, but one contained the money Bai Yu gave her, and the other contained her own salary. With a look of pain on her face, she took out the debt from her wallet, put it on the table. Then, with a look of letting it go, she walked to the kitchen to prepare dinner. After Tsunade changed her clothes, she looked at the money on the table. Her face blushed slightly. Well, I'll give it to Mikoto when I get the money this month. Should I take 2 tasks? Forget it. I'll give it to Makoto when the salary of the person in charge of Konoha Hospital arrives. At most, I'll miss 2 happy times. Tsunade, who had made up her mind, also walked to the kitchen to help Makoto prepare dinner. Hatake Tsukumo was very punctual. Tsunade and Uchiha Makoto had just prepared the dishes and chopsticks. He brought Kakashi with him. Lord Tsukumo, you're here. Kakashi, long time no see. Uchiha Makoto opened the door. She smiled and said to Hatake Tsukumo and Kakashi, Aunt Makoto. Excuse me, Kakashi said politely. But with a pair of dead fish eyes like Hatake Tsukumo and a half mask, he looked very indifferent. Aha. I can already smell the aroma of food. It seems that you are here in time. Hatake Tsukumo said unceremoniously. Come here quickly if you come. We still have things to talk about after dinner. Tsunade's voice came from the house. Very arrogant and very impolite. But Hatake Tsukumo has long been used to it. Sorry, Lord Tsukumo. Uchiha Makoto said with an embarrassed face. Hey, I've long been used to it. I didn't expect that Princess Tsunade back then was actually pursued by Bai Yu. I really admire her. Haha. Let's go. Let's eat. Let me tell you, Kakashi, your Aunt Makoto's cooking skills are great. Feeling Tsunade's murderous aura in the house, Hatake Tsukumo suddenly changed his tone. He quickly covered up his embarrassment and said, after dinner, Kakashi ran to the yard and practiced the swordsmanship of the Hatake family alone. Hatake Tsukumo and Tsunade were discussing the matter of Bai Yu in the living room. Uchiha Makoto was cleaning up the dishes. Is this your solution? I can't tell. Your friendship with Bai Yu is really deep. Tsunade couldn't help but say after hearing what Hatake Tsukumo said. Hatake Tsukumo decided to create a virtual task in his own name. In this way, he could explain the matter of Bai Yu without announcing the task. And whoever dares to force the Enbu to announce the secret task is definitely looking for death. The name of Konoha White Fang can be reproduced. Yes. As for how to tell the outside world, it's up to you. The most basic conditions are left to me. I will be a witness. Hatake Tsukumo drank a sip of tea and said with a smile. Then you have a solution. Why didn't Makoto make it clear when she invited you to dinner and a meal was wasted? TSK. Tsunade said ruthlessly. At this time, Uchiha Makoto had just finished cleaning up and walked over. Hearing Tsunade's words clearly, Hatake Tsukumo was embarrassed when he heard it. At the same time, Uchiha Makoto's face was also very red. Maybe because Yu has always been there and her sister is very well behaved in front of you. She has forgotten her sister's original demeanor. Sister. Yu. Uchiha Makoto wanted to say something. Okay. It's all eaten. What else can I say? Makoto, you don't have to let this guy vomit it out. He will be a witness for Bai Yu. Then just tell the whole thing. Just don't mention the content of the mission. Let Konoha's current affairs move. Makoto, leave it to you. I'm going back to the room to rest. By the way, let Kakashi, that brat, come to learn swordsmanship from you more often in the future. Don't let some freeloaders delay the good seedlings. Although Tsunade's words were unpleasant to hear, the meaning she wanted to express was definitely not that unpleasant. Hatake Tsukumo's face turned green. Chapter 80, Konoha Junior Leaders Gathering. Lord Tsukumo. Don't be offended. Sister didn't mean that. She just thinks that you have a good relationship with Bai Yu, so you don't have to worry so much. Besides, sister asked Kakashi to come over, and she also wanted you to help Bai Yu, so that Bai Yu could teach Kakashi more ninjutsu, or swordsmanship or something. Don't be angry. Uchiha Makoto said quickly. Hearing you say that, I feel much better. However, Tsunade is famous for her temper. I don't know how Bai Yu subdued this woman. Hatake Tsukumo said faintly. In fact, Hatake Tsukumo was not angry, but just a little upset. Who made Bai Yu a good friend of Hatake Tsukumo? What's the point of being upset with such a brother's wife? Hey. Finally, the conversation with Uchiha Makoto was quite comfortable. She led Kakashi away happily. Kakashi, how about going to Bai Yu to learn swordsmanship after school at the ninja school? Hatake Tsukumo said with a smile, pulling Hatake Kakashi. Our Hatake family's swordsmanship is also good. Why go to Bai Yu to learn? Hatake Kakashi said. I have to say that Bai Yu is now, whether it is swordsmanship, ninjutsu, or other aspects, I can only seriously injure Bai Yu if I risk my life, and it's not even considered a serious injury. Bitterness flashed in Hatake Tsukumo's eyes. He couldn't help but think back to when Bai Yu was still a child. That time when he competed with Bai Yu, he could still be more relaxed. Now, is Bai Yu so strong? Why didn't I find it before? Hatake Kakashi said half doubtfully. Bai Yu always greets his own people with a smile. He only turns into a god of death when dealing with his enemies. During the Second Ninja World War, Bai Yu and I were on the same battlefield. Bai Yu's lethality is comparable to that of the tailed beasts. Back then, you were born, and I returned to the village. Bai Yu captured the third Kazekage alive, and decided the outcome. Only by following the strong can you become strong. Hatake Tsukumo said. Father, I'm willing to learn swordsmanship from Lord Bai Yu. Hatake Kakashi heard his father's words, and his dead fish eyes finally shone, and he said firmly, Yoshi, when Bai Yu comes back, you go to him to practice. I'll tell him. Pointing at that woman, don't even think about it. Hatake Tsukumo added in his heart. Yes, father. Hatake Tsukumo took Hatake Kakashi's hand and went home. Konoha's current affairs are very fast. The latest issue of the newspaper deliberately wrote about Bai Yu in the headline. Konoha Media Company refutes the rumor. A member of the Dragon team was in danger while performing a mission. Although the mission was successful, the Dragon team dispatched 11 people, 3 died, 1 was arrested. Lord Bai Yu was heartbroken when he heard the news. He personally went to rescue them. Now he has not returned. 7 people are out of danger. This report was edited after interviewing Lord Hatake Tsukumo and the 7 injured people. The information is absolutely true. As soon as the report came out, Bai Yu's glorious image reappeared and even improved. Bang! A certain base, a certain office, was renovated again. Genji, Bai Yu, who had been in a coma for 3 days, woke up with a pale face. Chakra overdraft is not a trivial matter. It was difficult to remove Uchiha Genji from the illusion state. I won't agree! Exclamation mark. Huh? What do I disagree with? A. Whitehead? Uchiha Genji just woke up, pushed the pale face Bai Yu away, and shouted firmly. Then suddenly found that he seemed to have forgotten something. Then he saw Bai Yu's face, with a little resentment on it. Uchiha Genji was confused. Bai Yu had no choice but to sit down with difficulty and told Uchiha Genji what happened. Hearing about the 3 people who died, Uchiha Genji's Sharingan opened again. He knelt on the ground and said sadly, Beitao, kill me, or let me commit suicide. I'm ashamed of your trust. Okay, stop being a woman. You want to die. I have lost 3 brothers. Why do you have to let me lose the 4th one to be happy? I consumed a lot this time. I'm afraid I can't recover in a few days. Help me go back. Don't mention the sacrifice of brothers anymore. What you have to do is not to let the brothers sacrifice in vain. After Bai Yu finished speaking, Uchiha Genji didn't say anything. Instead, he helped Bai Yu sit on Bai Long. Bai Long didn't say anything, but took the 2 of them back to Konoha village quickly. Bai Long naturally had a high rate of turning heads. Bai Yu didn't let Bai Long stop at the edge of the village. Instead, he stopped at a distance. With the help of Uchiha Genji, he returned to the Hakufu. The news of Bai Yu's chakra overdraft was passed on by word of mouth among Bai Yu's friends. I can't believe that Bai Yu could be seriously injured. Minato Namikaze said as he and Kushina visited Bai Yu. Pa. Kushina slapped Minato Namikaze on the back of his neck. It's chakra overdraft, not injury, Kushina said unhappily. Kushina was very grateful to Bai Yu in her heart. Now Kushina finally didn't have to worry about money. The lives of the 2 people became very superior. Hey, Minato Namikaze, this coward. For a time, the Hakufu was regarded as a gathering of Konoha's junior high-level officials. Hyuga Hayashi, the head of the Hyuga family, Hyuga Hisashi, the eldest elder of the Hyuga family, Uchiha Fugaku, the new head of the Uchiha family, Uchiha Tomitsu, the chief elder of the Uchiha family. Under the influence of Bai Yu, Uchiha Tomitsu's achievements are unprecedentedly high. Nerashikaku successfully sat on the throne of the leader of the Jonin class, the new head of the Nera family. Akimichi Choza, the head of the Akimichi family. Yamanaka Inoichi, the head of the Yamanaka family. Inozuka Tsumugi, the special jonin of the Inozuka family, and also a female ninja with a high status in the Inozuka family. Bai Yu helped the Inozuka family to prepare several kinds of dog food and was deeply loved by the Inozuka people. Aburame Shiwei, the new head of the Aburame family, apart from anything else, Bai Yu made a kind of super nano insect for him. Even Jiraiya, who had been collecting wind outside, came. Of course, he was captured by Uzumaki Kushina. The reason was that the collection of wind was discovered. There is also Jiraiya's disciple Namikaze Minato. Orochimaru also came, but Orochimaru stood silently in the corner. Hatake Tsukumo took Kakashi to chat with acquaintances. At this time, everyone was thinking in their hearts, Bai Yu's power is really great. All the people he met were the patriarchs of various families. Even Orochimaru and Jiraiya, the elite jonins with great influence in the village, came. Is it because of Tsunade? Question mark? Impossible. The one who was injured was Bai Yu. In Konoha, I'm afraid that Bai Yu's influence is second only to the Hokage. The most terrifying thing is that everyone present not only gives Bai Yu face in their hearts, but also deeply binds everyone present financially. Of course, except Jiraiya and Orochimaru. Bai Yu was practicing the Bai family's magic in the room. The visitor just took a look at the door. No interruption. But it made Tsunade and Uchiha Mikoto busy. So many people who came were all well-known people in Konoha. As Bai Yu's wife, Tsunade couldn't be too impolite. And Uchiha Mikoto received the guests with a red face under the teasing of Uchiha Fugang. Don't think wrongly about the elders to the younger generation. Chapter 81 The Storm is Coming. 3 days later, Bai Yu's magic skill was perfected. Ahem. The lost chakra was restored. After that, a big banquet was held to thank the friends who came to visit Bai Yu. Bai Yu knew about the public opinion storm and expressed his disdain. You don't need to think about it to know that it was done by that old GB Shimura Danzo. However, the matter of Uchiha Madara made Bai Yu feel a sense of crisis. What the hell is that plan? Even if Bai Yu said that he was fighting with Uchiha Madara, no one would believe it. However, it was very surprising for Bai Yu that Hatake Tsukumo asked Hatake Kakashi to learn swordsmanship with him. Bai Yu didn't say anything, just teach, what's the big deal? As for Uchiha Genji and his 8 companions, Bai Yu placed them back in the Dragon Group. The title is the Dragon Group 8! Exclamation mark. However, the ninja world seems to be uneasy again. At the border of the Land of Fire, ninjas from other villages frequently appear. This is not a good sign. In half a month, judging from the intelligence of the Dragon Group, there is a feeling that the ninja world is about to be broken. Bai Yu waited for Kakashi's arrival in the yard as usual. Needless to say, Kakashi had been conquered by Bai Yu's swordsmanship on the first day he came to Bai Yu to learn swordsmanship. Bai Yu was also very conscientious. After learning about Kakashi's lightning chakra, he combined it with the Hatake swordsmanship of the Hatake family. He tailored a swordsmanship for Kakashi that was super suitable for him. The first step is to get familiar with the moves of this swordsmanship. Kakashi's talent shocked Bai Yu a little. Although Kakashi is young now, his understanding and learning ability of swordsmanship is like a growing sponge. How much you have, I absorb. And Kakashi's speed of refining chakra is also very fast. He can be said to be a genius among the same class of ninjas. Teacher Bai Yu, Kakashi said respectfully when he saw Bai Yu after entering the Bai mansion. Well, how was school today? Bai Yu said with a smile after drinking a sip of tea. Boring. I feel like I learned so little in school. I might as well study for 2 hours with teacher Bai Yu. I want to graduate early. Kakashi said coldly with his signature dead fish eyes. No, you're wrong. It seems that you still don't understand the true meaning of school. Bai Yu said with a smile. Teacher Bai Yu, what is the true meaning? Kakashi asked puzzled. The true meaning? Let me put it this way. Ordinary ninjas can learn a lot of ninja knowledge in ninja schools, but for family children, it's like they haven't learned anything at all, except for the will of fire. But think about it, what else is there in school besides studying? Bai Yu said, took a sip of tea, and looked at Kakashi. Nothing else, right? Kakashi thought for a while and said. Bang. Bai Yu gave Kakashi a flick on the forehead. And there are friends to play with. The power of companions is infinite. Bai Yu said helplessly. Very powerful? Kakashi couldn't help but think of that idiot wearing goggles, Uchiha Obito of the Uchiha clan. The corner of his mouth twitched. Let me put it this way. Each companion has different shining points. For example, Narushikaku, that guy, his strength is not that good, but his brain is good. And his brain has been getting better and better in recent years. Sometimes, it is difficult for me to trick him. Bai Yu curled his lips and said, secret technique. Shadow strangulation technique. Coincidentally, Narushikaku walked into the Bai mansion with a dark face, holding a gift box in his hand. Hearing Bai Yu's words, he immediately put the box aside. A secret technique was performed on Bai Yu. Bai Yu, you bastard. I gave you a special potion for replenishing the body from the Naru family. You actually said bad things about me behind my back. Narushikaku said angrily. How did I say bad things about you? I was praising you. Little earthworm, quickly take back your shadow. Otherwise, I will take back your shadow for you. A black shadow appeared on Bai Yu's body, but his face was still shouting. Little white face. How dare you call me little earthworm? Don't think you can be arrogant, just because you are pretty. Take my punch. Narushikaku heard this, and retracted his shadow. He used the instant body technique directly, to give Bai Yu a fist of salvation. An immobilization spell. Immobilization. Bai Yu cast the magic spell with a smirk on his face. Little earthworm. Do you still remember this scene? Do you think I will pull off your pants? Bai Yu said meanly, while looking at Narushikaku who was still punching. Little white face. I tell you, you are too much. Do you know? Do you think the squad leader of my Jounin class is just for free? Narushikaku said strangely. Shadow binding technique. Shadow seam technique. Black Byanhua. A shadow appeared next to Narushikaku who was immobilized by Bai Yu. Just when Bai Yu was about to resist, the immobilized Narushikaku turned into a ball of black flowers. Several petals turned into silk threads and directly wrapped Bai Yu. What do you think, pretty boy? I haven't lived in vain these years. Ha ha ha. The real Narushikaku appeared next to the gift box and ruthlessly mocked Bai Yu who was wrapped in a shadow. This scene shocked Kakashi. In this moment, a battle plan was completed and implemented. Senior Narushikaku's strategy is really strong! Exclamation mark. However, little earthworm, you seem to have forgotten one of my titles. Purple lightning. Bai Yu's figure appeared behind Narushikaku and said gloomily. Ha 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 oh my. Where's the purple light? There's none either. Narushikaku's face flashed with surprise and complained. Isn't it better to have restrained chakra? Isn't it cool to glow? I can see it at a glance. Cut. The gift is great. Come over for tea. Bai Yu carried the gift box, gave Narushikaku a chic back, and returned to the stone table in the yard. Narushikaku twitched his mouth helplessly, sitting opposite Bai Yu, drinking tea. Afterwards, Bai Yu chatted with Narushikaku while guiding Kakashi in his training. Is this his companion? Kakashi thought silently as he looked at Bai Yu and Narushikaku. Lord Shikaku, Lord Bai Yu, Lord Hokage invites you. In the conference room, an Anbu ninja said respectfully standing on the courtyard wall. When Bai Yu was young, he was famous for an Anbu ninja who stood directly in the courtyard and drew his sword without saying a word. His reputation has been passed down to this day. Therefore, among the Anbu ninjas, unless they can resist Bai Yu's move, the rest basically stand on the wall or knock on the door to come in. And those who can resist a move will also talk about business as soon as they see Bai Yu, and then concentrate on it, for fear that Bai Yu will take him away with a sword. Okay, I know. You go back first. Bai Yu waved his hand and said. The figure of the Anbu ninja disappeared immediately, turned into a cloud of smoke. What do you think? Bai Yu looked at Narushikaku and said. It's not peaceful again. Let's go. It's really troublesome. Narushikaku's eyes flashed with wisdom, and then he said impatiently. Kakashi, you practice by yourself first. Tsunade and Makoto will be back soon. Bai Yu said to Kakashi. Okay, Bai Yu teacher. After Kakashi said this, he began to practice on his own. Then, Bai Yu and Narushikaku walked out together. Why are you squeezing me? I'm happy. The door is so small. Can't you open the door over there? I'm too lazy to move. I'm clumsy. Hey, you. Hey, I'm out. Little earthworm. I. Two childish ghosts. The corner of Kakishi's mouth hidden under the mask twitched. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 82. Hatake Tsukumo personally carries out the mission. When they were almost at the Hokage building, Narashikaku and Bai Yu put on serious faces in tacit understanding. This time, everyone was present. All the high-level officials of Konoha and the patriarchs of various families were present. After several years, after discussion, the Sand Village finally proposed a formal response for material negotiations. According to the information, the one tail of the Sand Ninja has been resurrected and already has a Jinchuriki. The time is set for the end of the year. What do you think about this matter? Sarutobi Hiruzen went straight to the point. TSK, procrastinating. I thought the negotiations had been completed long ago. Really? Bai Yu couldn't help but complain in his heart. No, that guy Shukaku is resurrected. Hehe. A hint of excitement flashed through Bai Yu's heart. However, I have to hold back. After all, this is not a time of war. But, hey, it smells so good. Shikaku, tell me. Sarutobi Hiruzen said calmly. Yes, in my opinion, the Sand Ninja should have delayed until their strength recovered. If we had sent someone before, even if we asked for a high price, they would not have had the strength to refute. At this point, Narashikaku glanced at Bai Yu. Bai Yu responded with a smile. For this negotiation, I think the most suitable people should be me and Lord Orochimaru. Narashikaku said calmly. Yeah, that's right. I think so too. However, Elder Bai Yu, your 8 members of the dragon group must follow Narashikaku and Orochimaru to act together. In case of any accidents. Sarutobi Hiruzen said. As everyone knows, Bai Yu's dragon group is just like taking drugs, and its strength is terrifying. Especially the 8 members of the dragon group. Okay, I will tell the 8 of them to run away first, if they are in danger. Haha. Just kidding. Bai Yu said jokingly. The originally serious atmosphere was diluted a lot by Bai Yu's words. Next, there is the problem of ninjas from other villages frequently appearing at the border. What do you think about this matter? Sarutobi Hiruzen once again made the atmosphere serious. I think this is very unusual. I suggest strengthening the border patrol. Narashikaku said cautiously. Well, there must be something wrong when things are abnormal. I agree with Narashikaku's suggestion. Bai Yu said. I will arrange for the Anbu ninja to strengthen the village's defense ban and the protection of important places. Hatake Tsukumo said calmly. The dragon group will enter a state of full preparation for war. Bai Yu followed. I will send the ninjas of the upper ninja class to strictly control the work. Narashikaku said. All the families also said that they would fully prepare for war and gather combatants. But someone. Oh. Our Konoha is so united. It's like one side is in trouble and all sides support it. It's really reliable at the critical moment. Unlike some guys with crosses on their faces. They didn't even say a word. TSK. Show your position. Ah sir. Bai Yu sneered. Shimura Danzo's face turned pale. I know what to do. No need to say it. Shimura Danzo said with gritted teeth. Sat. Ah sir. So what we said was all bullshit? It seems that it is not right to express our views. Bai Yu said in an extremely exaggerated tone, pretending to be sad. It must be said that Bai Yu's provocation was very successful. The eyes of the patriarchs of each family looked at Shimura Danzo with some deep meaning. Bai Yu, you are too much. You have stains on your body. Kuroko Koharu has always been resentful of Bai Yu's actions. He couldn't help but slap the stool and sprayed. I have stains on my body? Yes. There are more than one. I was sprayed with the saliva of some old men just now. Hey, there is also a smell. I don't know if the dentures fell on me. So disgusting. This dress can't be kept. Bai Yu smelled his clothes with a look of disgust and said. You. Kuroko Koharu, who was 800 meters away from Bai Yu, suddenly turned black. Enough. Bai Yu is discussing things now. How can it be a child's play? Sit down. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned and said directly. Koharu Utane sat down with a gloomy face. Bai Yu mouthed SBP to Koharu Utane, which made veins on his forehead pop out. The meeting ended late at night. Hey, you. Get up. Don't sleep anymore. It's over. At this time, the people in the meeting room had already left. Narushikaku and Bai Yu sat closest. He couldn't help but kick Bai Yu, whose saliva was about to flow to the ground. Slap, it's over. Yeah. Go home. Let's go. Bai Yu rubbed his eyes and walked away with magical steps. Narushikaku's mouth twitched and he also walked away. It's not that Bai Yu is too awesome. It's just that the things he said later have little to do with Bai Yu. When he got home, Bai Yu saw that Tsunade and Mikoto did not sleep but waited for him to go home. He felt warm in his heart, but Bai Yu found that the eyes of Tsunade and Mikoto looking at Bai Yu were a little different. What kind of feeling is that? Some expectation, but also some resentment. What's going on? Bai Yu didn't understand. And at night, Bai Yu wanted to sleep with him in the same bed, but the two girls went to sleep in the next room. This made Bai Yu a little confused. Oh, it seems that the ninja world is going to be in turmoil again. But he doesn't have the energy to think about these things. Once a fight starts, Bai Yu will definitely join the battle. He is the only one who is neither a Hokage nor a Jinchuriki, but he is as strong as a Jinchuriki. I don't know how the kitten has recovered my beast sucking method, but Shimura Danzo is not a good guy. If I don't get rid of him first, I can't go to the battlefield with peace of mind. What if this thief trips me up? It seems that I have to find a chance to get rid of him. It's been so long, I can't delay it any longer. This old GB should have died a long time ago. The next day, something happened in Konoha. A secret technique of Konoha was stolen by a spy. It was Bai Yu's Force secret technique, and the spy is very powerful. Hatake Tsukumo personally led the team to go out on a mission. Bai Yu naturally came to see him off. Watched Hatake Tsukumo leave the village. Bai Yu was bored and strolled around the village. It was still early. There were not many people on the street. At this time, let's burn our youth. Yes, father. I want to run 3 laps around Konoha village. You are insulting youth. 10 laps. Yes, I was wrong, father. Youth cannot be insulted. 15 laps. Father. In Bai Yu's eyes, there appeared a scene of a man hugging a boy and crying. What surprised Bai Yu the most was that there was a picture of the sea around. Yo. Lord Bai Yu. So early. Bai Yu knew Might Day, who was a 10,000-year-old genin of Konoha. However, Bai Yu did not think that Might Day's strength was weak. Instead, he felt that Might Day's strength, when he burst out with all his strength, was not inferior to that of a shadow-level strongman. Good morning. Is this K? I heard Kakashi mention it. Bai Yu greeted awkwardly. For the style of wearing green tights, Bai Yu always had some inexplicable feelings in his heart. Really? Kakashi is my sworn enemy. I will defeat him. The young man Gay said with great passion. Friends and enemies? Very good. Come on. Bai Yu admired Might Guy's spirit. Did you hear that, Gay? Lord Bai Yu approves of your youth. Might Guy said excitedly, while holding on to his shoulders. I heard it. I will continue to spend my youth. I want to become the blue beast of Konoha. Might Guy's eyes were filled with endless passion. I'm proud of you. Gay. This is youth. Gay. Father. Let's go. Gay. Take advantage of this passion. Spend your youth. Yeah. Bai Yu stared in amazement at the 2 men in green tights going away. Chapter 83. Something happened to Hatake Tsukumo. The second day after Hatake Tsukumo went out on a mission. Today, the actual combat assessment. Get ready. The students in Kakashi's class were instantly excited when they heard the teacher's words. This time, I will definitely be the first. A boy wearing goggles said with confidence. After saying that, he glanced obscurely at the girl next to him with 2 purple camouflage stripes on her face. However, the girl's eyes were always on the other masked man with silver white hair. Uchiha Obito, not Rin and Kakashi. Uchiha Obito saw this scene and suddenly looked constipated. Kakashi, this time I will definitely defeat you. Uchiha Obito then made a bold statement. The last one. Kakashi said softly, giving Uchiha Obito a pair of dead fish eyes. Contains endless contempt. Asshole, you're too much. What kind of look is that? I want to duel with you now. Uchiha Obito was instantly ignited, waving his fists and rushing. Hey. We are all partners, don't be like this. Sit down. Noharurin helplessly pulled Uchiha Obito, fearing that he would be beaten to death by Kakashi. Humph, if it weren't for Kakashi, you would be dead today. Uchiha Obito turned his face to the side after saying this, clasping his hands in front of his chest, with candy in his mouth. TSK. The last one. Kakashi has never been a parent who spoils his children. He said ruthlessly. Okay, let's start. Look, the teacher has signaled everyone to go to the playground. Noharurin saw the teacher's gesture and said hurriedly, everyone, follow me. The teacher said loudly. Bai Yu felt that he couldn't stay at home anymore. I don't know what happened, but the resentment of Tsunade and Uchiha Mikoto was getting worse and worse. I didn't do anything. Bai Yu was a little confused. Should we hold a world's #1 ninja competition? Forget it. Let's wait until peace comes. Now it seems that there will be unrest again. Don't take advantage of this juncture to cause any trouble. The next match, Kakashi vs. Uchiha Obito. Wow. Kakashi, the genius ninja. So handsome. Damn it. That loser actually has the honor to fight Kakashi. When the teacher announced it, Kakashi's little fans were already excited. Damn it. Look how I beat Kakashi. Rin, you watch. Rin. When Uchiha Obito made his bold statement, he saw Noharurin's eyes turned into pink hearts and looked at the silent Kakashi. Uchiha Obito looked constipated again. Helplessly, Uchiha Obito walked to the battle area silently. Come on. Kakashi took out a short sword given to him by Hatake Tsukumo. Still those dead fish eyes. Damn it. Kakashi, look how I beat you. Uchiha Obito said with an angry face. The loser for 10,000 years. Kakashi said silently. In order to defeat you, I'll learn a super invincible ninjutsu. Uchiha Obito said confidently. Then he began to make seals with both hands. A trace of surprise flashed in Kakashi's eyes. The order of the seals was perfect. What is this? Exclamation mark. Not good. Kakashi no longer hesitated and came in front of Uchiha Obito with a body flicking technique. At this time, Uchiha Obito had already made a seal. Fire escape, great fireball technique. Uchiha Obito roared, but the next second, his pupils lost focus and a feeling of suffocation came over him. Bang! Kakashi kicked Uchiha Obito in the face with a whip kick. Puff! Uchiha Obito spit out a candy from his mouth. Kakashi wins. Make a seal of reconciliation. Seeing the candy flying out of Uchiha Obito's mouth, Kakashi felt that he was bullying ZZ children. And Noharurin looked helpless. Uchiha Obito, with a constipated expression on his face, quietly left. Noharurin glanced at Kakashi who was surrounded by fans, and then at the depressed Uchiha Obito. With a flash of determination in her eyes, she ran towards Uchiha Obito. Well, Uchiha Obito is a companion. I need to comfort him. 2 more days passed. Since the meeting, Bai Yu would go to the dragon team from time to time, but most of the time it was because of the resentment of Tsunade and Mikoto. Not long after Bai Yu arrived at the dragon team, he received news that Hatake Tsukumo was back, but after Hatake Tsukumo came back, he had been staying in his house, which made Bai Yu frown slightly. But Bai Yu did not go. He believed that Hatake Tsukumo would be fine. Then, Bai Yu received news that Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Missy came to visit. Bai Yu had to go home. When he got home, he saw Uchiha Fugaku, Uchiha Missy and Tsunade were all smiling and talking and laughing. Hey, what are you talking about? You look so happy. Tell me too. Bai Yu said with a smile, while taking off his shoes. You, Misei and I are getting married. Come and send the invitations. Uchiha Fugaku said with a smile. After that, he looked at Misei and smiled sweetly. At this moment, a deep resentment suddenly rose in the hearts of Uchiha Mikoto and Tsunade. Bai Yu finally realized it. For so many years, I have always forgotten that I haven't gotten married yet. No wonder. Bai Yu couldn't help but feel helpless. But in an instant, Bai Yu's mind flashed with an idea. Fugaku, let's go over there and talk. Let's go. Bai Yu mysteriously pulled Uchiha Fugaku to the yard. Although Misei and the other two were curious, they didn't ask. Instead, they continued to chat. What's wrong, you? Uchiha Fugaku asked curiously. When are you two going to get married? Bai Yu asked. August 15th. That is 2 months later. After all, I don't know how the conversation with the wind country will go. Just in case, we should get married as soon as possible, and it can be regarded as an explanation to Missy. After all, we have been together for so long, it would be a bit irresponsible if we don't get married, Uchiha Fugaku said with a little embarrassment. Hearing this, Bai Yu cursed in his heart. What's the matter? Do you mean I'm not responsible? Do you want to have a grand wedding? Bai Yu said with a smile. Oh, of course I do. What do you think? Uchiha Fugaku's eyes lit up. Well, it just so happens that I plan to propose to Tsunade and Mikoto in the near future, and then we will get married together. We will do this and that, this and that. Bai Yu said quietly. Hearing this, Uchiha Fugaku's eyes lit up. Okay, I listen to you. In this way, it will be a gorgeous wedding. But who should we find as the host? Uchiha Fugaku said with a frown. Let's find that stuffy guy Hatake Tsukumo. Bai Yu thought for a while and said. I heard that something happened to Hatake Tsukumo. He probably wouldn't be in the mood to look for him at this time. Uchiha Fugaku said awkwardly. Oh, what happened to him? Bai Yu asked in surprise. Chapter 84. Is Hatake Tsukumo dead or not? I heard that Lord Hatake Tsukumo was in a dilemma in the enemy camp during a mission not long ago. He broke the rule that strictly forbids abandoning the mission. He saved his companions. The news spread. Now he is at home and never leaves the house. Uchiha Fugaku said helplessly. Oh, I should have checked the intelligence earlier. With Hatake Tsukumo's character, I hope nothing will happen. The other plans for the wedding remain unchanged. I'm thinking about the host. I'll go to Hatake Tsukumo first. Bai Yu's face was solemn. After saying that, he didn't wait for Uchiha Fugaku to reply. He flew over the wall and left. Hatake Tsukumo's house is very close to Bai Yu's house. Bai Yu arrived quickly. However, the scene in front of him made Bai Yu very angry. I saw that the walls of Hatake's house were full of traces of eggs thrown and rotten vegetable leaves. What's more, there were also paints such as Scum of the Ninja World, Sinner of Konoha, and Loser. There were also many people surrounding Hatake's house and cursing. I really don't know why such a person can become the captain of the Anbu. What a disgrace to Konoha. Waste. A waste that breaks the rules. Bai Yu couldn't bear it anymore. Get out of here. Don't force me to kill you. Bai Yu's words were filled with endless murderous intent. Soon the crowd was gone. Bai Yu exhaled and jumped directly into the Hatake residence. He walked into the house. Father, drink some water. I haven't eaten a single bite since you came back, but you should drink some water. Kakashi's voice penetrated Bai Yu's ears. Kakashi held a glass of water and knelt in front of Hatake Tsukumo's door and said. Although Kakashi acted very calm, but based on Bai Yu's understanding of Kakashi, Kakashi felt very insecure at this time. Bai Yu walked towards Kakashi. When Kakashi felt someone approaching, Bai Yu was already standing beside Kakashi. This shows how complicated Kakashi's heart was at this time. Teacher Bai Yu, you are here. Kakashi said respectfully. Well, why didn't you go to school? Bai Yu said with a smile. I was worried about my father. Kakashi felt relieved when he saw Bai Yu. Bai Yu patted Kakashi on the head. Okay, go to school quickly. You don't have to worry about Tsukumo. I'm here. That guy can't die. Go quickly. Bai Yu said with a smile. But, Kakashi was about to say something. Kakashi, go to school. I'm fine. Hatake Tsukumo's voice came out. The voice was a little stiff and hoarse. Yes, father. Kakashi said. Teacher Bai Yu, please. Kakashi said to Bai Yu, bowed, and left with the white fang blade on his back. Seeing Kakashi leave, Bai Yu's face changed. Bang, he kicked the door open. What caught his eye was the decadent look of Hatake Tsukumo. A seppuku knife was ready. You. Hatake Tsukumo stuttered when he saw Bai Yu suddenly breaking in. I have the ability to sense people's emotions. You have such a strong will to die. If Kakashi hadn't been here, you would have died long ago. You are really amazing. Kakashi just left. I was still here, and you stabbed yourself? Why do you want me to take the blame before you die? Bai Yu said with disdain. How is that possible? I just thought you would handle everything. Hatake Tsukumo said helplessly. TSK. After all, you are the captain of the Anbu, a big shot who has seen the ups and downs of life. Why do I feel like you are living like a dog? You want to die at every turn. Come on, you want to die, right? I won't stop you. You continue. Bai Yu turned on the venomous tongue mode. Hatake Tsukumo was really stubborn. The will to die was strong again. Puff Hatake Tsukumo committed seppuku. Bai Yu just watched. After a long time, Bai Yu took out the camera from the sealed scroll and took a picture. Then the Dharma Eye opened silently. I told you a long time ago. In front of me, it's hard for you to die. Bai Yu said to me with a smile. The pupil power instantly enveloped a transparent Hatake Tsukumo. Bai Yu pulled out the knife from Hatake Tsukumo's stomach. A healing technique healed the wound. Using the Dharma Eye, he directly gave Hatake Tsukumo enough vitality. Then he stuffed the transparent Hatake Tsukumo into his body. Huh? Is this a new ninjutsu was born? Can it snatch my soul? No. What kind of power is this? In the dark, an old man with horns on his head said silently in the void. Am I dead? But seppuku is really painful. Why don't you be my Keishakunin? You are clearly carrying the Bai Yu sword. Hatake Tsukumo moved his fingers first, then regained consciousness and muttered to himself. Yo. Awake. Congratulations on not dying. Will you continue? Bai Yu said leisurely on the side. Huh. Not dead. Hatake Tsukumo looked at his intact body, except for the pool of blood. He didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Yes, you didn't die. Does it hurt when you're seppuku? Ha, I did it on purpose. Do you want to continue? I promise that you won't die, even if you keep seppuku, until you feel numb. Bai Yu said meanly. You, really? Hatake Tsukumo didn't feel like dying at all now. Don't you think it's suspicious that you got into trouble? Bai Yu tore off half of Hatake Tsukumo's bedsheet. He wiped the chair splattered with blood. Then he sat on it and said seriously. Hatake Tsukumo's mouth twitched at first, and he was about to curse. But when he heard Bai Yu's words, he frowned. I've heard some of your story, but I always feel it's suspicious. Tell me in detail. I'll analyze it. Bai Yu said with a frown. Hatake Tsukumo told Bai Yu the entire mission. Let's not talk about whether the mission is kept confidential, just because Bai Yu made sure that he couldn't die, and he even broke the rules. What else should he care about? Well, sure enough, your companions are obviously in danger because of the information leak. Logically speaking, as the captain of the Anbu, who dares to mess with you? However, think about it, based on the current situation of the top leaders. If something happens to you, who will be the biggest beneficiary? Bai Yu sorted out the whole story in an instant. He said with a gleam in his eyes. Root, could it be? Hatake Tsukumo was not stupid. He could be the captain of the Anbu and just eat for free. Yes, it seems that the old thief Shimura Danzo is ambitious. Bai Yu said coldly. I will check it out. Hatake Tsukumo said in a deep voice. Well, let me say one last thing. People who break the rules are trash. However, people who don't cherish their companions are even worse than trash. I, Bai Yu, would rather be trash than worse than trash. You have to think clearly. The pressure of public opinion is probably also caused by the old thief Danzo. Dare to show off your sword in front of me. You are really looking for death. Humph. I will help you with this matter. But you have to do me one thing. Bai Yu said. What's the matter? Hatake Tsukumo said with a smile. This is so. Bai Yu told Hatake Tsukumo about his big plan in the host's invitation. Me. I'm a criminal now. I'm afraid. Hatake Tsukumo said awkwardly. If you don't want to help, forget it. Why are you saying those useless things? Bai Yu said with pretended anger. In fact, Bai Yu already understood that Hatake Tsukumo was willing to help him. I'll help. Really? Okay, you go back quickly. I have to clean up and cook for Kakashi. Hatake Tsukumo was helpless, and he flicked his sleeves, revealing his true colors. Bai Yu raised his middle finger, leaving behind a chic back. Bai Yu walked out of the Hatake house with a smile on his face. Hatake Tsukumo also had a smile on his face. This is a bond of friendship. Chapter 85. The end of Shimura Danzo begins. After dealing with Hatake Tsukumo's affairs, Bai Yu walked down the street with a smile. He went straight to the Hokage's office building. Why go to the Hokage building? If it weren't for Sarutobi Hiruzen's kindness, how could public opinion spread so quickly? If Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't speak out, how could people be so unscrupulous? Of course, such unscrupulousness should be secretly operated by Shimura Danzo. However, if Sarutobi Hiruzen had said even a word, things would not have escalated so much. When approaching the Hokage building, Bai Yu suddenly remembered something. His figure disappeared. After a long time, he reappeared. He was holding a photo in his hand. It was the photo of Hatake Tsukumo committing seppuku. Bai Yu put away his smile and put on an expression of grief and indignation. Shadow clone technique. Bai Yu created two clones, one to find Orochimaru, the other to find Uchiha Fugaku. What for? Of course, the Uchiha family took the evidence of Shimura Danzo's frame up of the Uchiha clan. Why go to find Orochimaru? One is to see if there is any new evidence, and the other is to ask if all the traces have been cleaned up, so as not to let Orochimaru in. Bai Yu looked at his expression reflected on the glass next to him. Hey, the world owes me a little golden man. A cold murderous intent suddenly burst out from Bai Yu's body. The surrounding Anbu members trembled in shock. Seeing that it was Bai Yu, he was relieved. But he became nervous again. Why? Bai Yu came in with a Bai Yu sword. Bai Yu did not kick the door at the first time. Instead, he accidentally heard Sarutobi Hiruzen's roar. Shimura Danzo, why are you doing this? Do you know that Hatake Tsukumo is a hero of Konoha? Now you are just a waste who broke the rules. I just made the matter public. What I said is the truth. Everything I did is for the village. Do you know what kind of impact this will have on the village? Do you know what kind of impact this will have on Hatake Tsukumo? In my opinion, these impacts are not as great as the loss of the forbidden technique. Bang. Bai Yu was really angry this time. The office door smashed directly at Shimura Danzo. Who is it? You dare to sneak attack me? Shimura Danzo dodged and roared. Sneak attack? You need a sneak attack. Sneak attack is a compliment to you. Bai Yu said angrily. You are here. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Bai Yu with a complicated expression. Bai Yu did not answer Sarutobi Hiruzen. Instead, he glared at Shimura Danzo. Old thief. I tell you, I will settle accounts with you today. Bai Yu said coldly. Humph. You dare to murder the elders of the same village. I think you will end up here today. Shimura Danzo's eyes flashed with a gleam of light. Bai Yu dared to take action in front of the Hokage. It was a good opportunity. Isn't it just the inch force I invented? I will print this technology tomorrow, 1 or 2 small secret books, and publish them. Do you believe it? Isn't it just giving up the mission to save a companion? Of course, if it is you who is saved, I will definitely say that the mission is important. Bai Yu said. You will definitely be punished today. Do you know that hurting a fellow ninja is a heinous crime? Shimura Danzo insisted that Bai Yu hurt him. Do you know what happened to Hatake Tsukumo because of the public opinion you stirred up this time? Bai Yu said with a sad and angry face. Killing energy surged on his body. Sarutobi Hiruzen heard this, and his heart skipped a beat. Open your dog eyes and see clearly. Bai Yu held the photo in front of Shimura Danzo and said angrily. Then he threw the photo to Sarutobi Hiruzen, who quickly took it. Sarutobi Hiruzen was stunned when he saw it. He sat on the chair weakly. Good. This kind of waste. It's not a pity to die. Shimura Danzo said proudly. At this time, Bai Yu received the memory after the disappearance of the clone. Uchiha Fugaku is on the way. Orochimaru said that everything has been dealt with. I'm sorry. Bai Yu murmured softly. What? Shimura Danzo didn't hear clearly. I say, the Uchiha clan has been wronged by the village for so long. I'm so sorry. Die. Bai Yu instantly burst out with a strong sword energy. Shimura Danzo was cut in half. What are you doing? Sarutobi Hiruzen came back to his senses and said angrily. Bai Yu felt something was wrong. He did not answer Sarutobi Hiruzen, but checked the two halves of Shimura Danzo. Sure enough, this body was a substitute for Shimura Danzo. This old thief is really cunning enough. This is the evidence of Shimura Danzo's crime. Take a look first. Bai Yu handed the evidence given to him by Orochimaru to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Sarutobi Hiruzen was stunned and opened the scroll. Then his face turned green with anger. Damn it. This guy not only studies the first generation cells himself, he even wants Orochimaru to help him study. But, hey, Zyalo. Hatake Tsukumo just passed away. If Shimura Danzo is killed at this time, I'm afraid the foundation of the village will be shaken. Sarutobi Hiruzen was angry at first, and then said helplessly, "Who said Hatake Tsukumo died?" Bai Yu said in fake surprise. He was laughing wildly in his heart. Life is like a play, it all depends on acting. The photo you showed me. Sarutobi Hiruzen was also a little confused. He committed seppuku, but I saved him. He should be cooking for Kakashi at this time. No, the father and son should have eaten. Bai Yu said with a smile. You, really, hey, if possible, let Shimura Danzo go. Sarutobi Hiruzen felt like he was about to take off. Life is full of ups and downs. It's so exciting. Wait a minute, there's something more exciting. I'm leaving first. I'm going to do something. Bai Yu said with a smile. Jump out of the window directly. Go straight to Shimura Danzo's house. Let him go? Haha, it doesn't exist. Shimura Danzo, give me your life. Bai Yu ignored the other people in the Shimura clan. Go straight to Shimura Danzo's room. With a lightning fast momentum. Directly cut off Shimura Danzo's head. Damn, another double. You old thief, you're really good at playing. Bai Yu cursed. Go straight to the root base. Danzo-sama. Bai Yu has already slaughtered your 2 doubles. Now he's heading to the base. The root base, Shimura Danzo's office. A root ninja is reporting intelligence to Shimura Danzo. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't make any moves. Shimura Danzo said coldly. Bai Yu talked to the Hokage-sama for a while. The Hokage-sama stopped moving. Hiruzen, look. Bai Yu, you can't control it anymore. If you listen to me, there wouldn't be so many things. You disappoint me so much. Shimura Danzo said with emotion. Move. Finally, Shimura Danzo ordered. Not good, Danzo-sama. Bai Yu has already killed his way to the gate of the base. A root ninja quickly entered Shimura Danzo's office and said hurriedly. Humph. Do you really think I'm a soft persimmon? Capture him at all costs. Shimura Danzo said coldly. Yes. 2 root ninjas ran out quickly. Bai Yu, this day next year will be your anniversary. Shimura Danzo said with madness in his eyes. It will be on the shelves tomorrow. 10,000 words today. Chapter 86, Green Lotus Funeral Song. A ruthless man who doesn't talk much, my brother Bai in society. Bai Yu held the Bai Yu sword. No nonsense. He walked straight into the base. He didn't even run. He just walked. And he walked very slowly. Bai Yu's goal was to bloodbath the root. Let you scumbags assassinate me back then. With Bai Yu's arrival, many root ninjas poured out of the base, just like ants leaving a nest. But there were not so many, and not so dense. After all, they were all people. Haha. Root's important place. Lord Bai Yu, please stay. I'll report to Lord Danzo. 2 root ninjas stepped forward and coldly intercepted Bai Yu. Shuapuchi. Bai Yu was too lazy to talk nonsense. A sword sealed his throat, and blood gushed out. Kill. Seeing this, the root ninjas attacked Bai Yu directly. There was no mercy for the dead companions. There were even 2 ninjas who stepped on the newly dead ninjas. The sky was full of hidden weapons, like a rainstorm. Conventional ninjutsu of various attributes are like fireworks and spectacular scenery. That's it? You still want to dance in front of me? Bai Yu said with disdain. Bai Yu's figure suddenly became illusory. This is because the speed is too fast, resulting in the after image left. The after image disappeared, and it looked like an illusion. These ninjas didn't want Bai Yu to use ninjutsu at all. In this ninja world now, it is rare for Bai Yu to enter the sage mode and then perform ninjutsu. No ninja below the level of Kage can force Bai Yu to use ninjutsu. But the slap in the face came so quickly. Bai Yu was a little caught off guard. Wind escape. Vacuum big ball. Shimura Danzo, the old thief, hid in the crowd at some point. The timing of releasing ninjutsu was grasped steadily and ruthlessly. While Bai Yu was attacking, the power had just been released, and between the gaps of the attack, Fire Thunder Blade. Bai Yu had no choice but to insert the Bai Yu sword into the ground. Condensing chakra with one hand, he cut off the ninjutsu that was aimed at Shimura Danzo. Bai Yu's face hurt a little. Shimura Danzo could barely be said to be at the quasi-cage level, or at the cage level. Well, no slap in the face. No slap in the face. Bai Yu. Surrender now. You dare to attack my root base in broad daylight. Shimura Danzo shouted. Bai Yu ignored him, but recalled the Bai Yu sword, and continued to kill. Bai Yu, stop now. Shimura Danzo continued to shout. Do you know Li Bai? Bai Yu asked loudly. What? Shimura Danzo was a little confused. But he was already forming a seal in anger. There is a sword technique. I call it Blue Lotus Funeral Song. Bai Yu said, and his figure disappeared quickly. The next second he appeared in the center of the most crowded crowd. Then, a group of Blue Lotus appeared in the air. Very beautiful, very beautiful, very elegant. The lotus gently stretched out. Are accompanied by the screams of the crowd. Exclamation mark. The petals of the Blue Lotus were stained with a gorgeous red color. After a long time, the lotus disappeared, and blood rain dripped. The ground was full of debris. Bai Yu, you deserve to die. Wind escape. Vacuum blade. Shimura Danzo raised the wind sword in his hand frantically, attacking Bai Yu. It's really like lighting a lantern in the toilet. Bai Yu shook his head contemptuously. Do you know the sword technique that falls from the sky? Bai Yu said while smiling. Slowly, the right hand sword finger appeared in front of Bai Yu, slowly pointing to Shimura Danzo. Shimura Danzo suddenly felt a little uneasy. Where is the sword? Where is the sword in Bai Yu's hand? Shouldn't the right hand hold the sword? The uneasy feeling in his heart quickly expanded. Swish. It turned out that the sword was above my head. With Bai Yu's finger, the Bai Yu sword fiercely inserted into the Bai Yu acupoint on the top of Shimura Danzo's head. This sword technique is called sword control. It's a pity that you don't know it, and I won't tell you. Bah, old thief, you're jumping around. Keep jumping around. Don't you want to cheat people? Keep going. TSK. Bai Yu pulled out the Bai Yu sword stuck in Shimura Danzo's head with a look of disgust, then found a corpse at random, and tore off a piece of unstained cloth. While wiping the sword, he mocked beside Shimura Danzo's body. Looking at the shining sword, Bai Yu put it back into the scabbard. Then he picked up a shuriken on the ground at random, cut off Shimura Danzo's head, and walked towards the Hokage's office with Shimura Danzo's head in a comfortable pace. When Bai Yu walked to the Hokage's office, there were already workers repairing the door. Bai Yu was a little embarrassed, but he still walked in. There were many people at this time. Yuta Northeast Koharu, Mitokado N, etc. were all in place. Bai Yu's actions seemed to be swift and resolute, but in fact, they had a great impact. After all, the whole village was looking for Danzo Shimura, just to kill him. TSK. Wow. Everyone is here. Look. Bai Yu said casually, and then threw the head to the ground. Danzo. Sarutobi Hirozen saw it, and his heart was very complicated. He had a thought, whether he was suitable to continue to be Hokage. You, this kind of filthy thing. How can you bring it here? It ruins the scenery. Burn it quickly. Hatake Tsukumo came to his senses. He said in a disgusting way. Bai Yu secretly gave a thumbs up. That's right, I didn't think it through. Fire escape. The technique of removing filth. Bai Yu exaggeratedly condensed a large ball of fire attribute chakra. But when it fell on the head, it was just a small flame. Well, it seems that it is really filthy. It even scared the fire I set. Bai Yu said with emotion. Boom. The flame instantly turned into a raging fire. In an instant, the head was vaporized. Huo is angry. He just told me that this thing is too dirty. Bai Yu said in horror. Okay. Now let me tell you about your story. Although you have evidence, you broke into the route without permission and killed a large number of excellent ninjas of Konoha. This matter cannot be let go. When Koharu Utatane saw the tragic death of Shimura Danzo, although she knew that Shimura Danzo deserved it, they were old friends for many years after all. Bai Yu's sarcasm made her feel very uncomfortable, so she said it, based on the information she just got. You old lady. It's a bit annoying. It means annoying. You go to kill the chief culprit, and the chief culprit's subordinates want to chop you to death, so you let them chop you? Come on, if you want to say that. I'm going to the dragon group now, and you come to kill me. If my brothers chop you, don't fight back. If you fight back, I'll chop your whole family. Do you dare? Bai Yu said with a frown. Koharu Utatane also knew that what Bai Yu said was reasonable, but when she saw Bai Yu's face, she couldn't help but want to find fault. A woman in menopause. Bai Yu muttered in a low voice, but this voice was heard by everyone. For a moment, everyone except Sarutobi Hiruzen and Mito Kadoen couldn't help but clench their teeth, fearing that they would laugh and be hated by the old woman. Okay, let's put this matter to an end. As for the root, Hatake Tsukumo, you are responsible for taking over. Sarutobi Hiruzen said. Yes, Lord Hokage. Hatake Tsukumo said with a serious face. The industry under the name of Shimura Danzo, Koharu, Kadoen, you two are responsible. Sarutobi Hiruzen said again. What about me? I made the first contribution. Bai Yu said hurriedly. I advise you to be kind. What else do you lack? Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but said with a black line. Lack of love. No. I lack a confession of love and a wedding. Bai Yu said awkwardly. Chapter 87 Konoha Grand Concert. What do you mean? You're getting married? Sarutobi Hiruzen said in surprise. When? Why didn't Tsunade come to tell me? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked afterwards. Because she doesn't know. Bai Yu said mysteriously. Oh. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Bai Yu puzzledly. So, Bai Yu leaned close to Sarutobi Hiruzen's ear and whispered his big plan. If I kiss her, how will she be raised? TSK. After hearing Bai Yu's plan, Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled as brightly as a chrysanthemum. Okay, let's go. The village needs some fun. Sarutobi Hiruzen said with a smile. Okay. Bai Yu smiled back and then pulled Uchiha Fugaku away. Why aren't you pulling me away? Uchiha Fugaku ran 2 blocks with Bai Yu in a daze. Couldn't help asking. Of course you have to contribute. Don't you want to give Missy an unforgettable proposal? Bai Yu said with a smile. I've already proposed. Do I need to ask again? So embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. Although Uchiha Fugaku is now the head of the clan, he always can't bring himself to act like a clan leader in front of Bai Yu. Bai Yu slapped Uchiha Fugaku on the back of his neck. You're a man. How can you say that? Do you know what's the most important thing for a man in this world? Bai Yu said with a look of disappointment. Of course it's strength. Uchiha Fugaku said firmly. Strength you asterisk. The most important thing is shamelessness. Haven't you heard a saying, a tree without bark will surely die? A shameless person is invincible in the world. If you have shame, there are some things that you are embarrassed to say. If you are embarrassed to say, you will lose a lot of things you want to get. Right. But if you are shameless, it's different. You will get a lot of unexpected gains. Bai Yu said earnestly. That makes sense. I listen to you. Uchiha Fugaku heard Bai Yu's words and immediately felt that there was some truth. That's right. I can't cheat you. Let's do this. Bai Yu's eyes sparkled as he told his plan. I can't do this. Uchiha Fugaku refused immediately after hearing this. A man can't say no. Just do it. Don't worry, I'm here. Bai Yu patted Uchiha Fugaku on the shoulder and said. Well, okay. I'll try. Uchiha Fugaku said helplessly with an embarrassed look on his face. I tell you, be crazy while you're young. If you don't go crazy, you'll get old. Bai Yu said. Half a month. Bai Yu went out early and came back late every day. He took Uchiha Fugaku to the Dragon Group base and secretly did something. What surprised Bai Yu was that Uchiha Fugaku was very talented in that aspect. I really couldn't tell. And Tsunade, Uchiha Makoto, and Uchiha Missy, the 3 of them were together every day to vent their pent-up resentment. Sister, what do you think Yu does every day? He is still with Fugaku. He goes out early and comes back late. Uchiha Makoto said after taking a sip of tea. Who knows? This bastard. I should not have let this guy get away with it. Tsunade said with an angry face. What do you think? Will they do it? Uchiha Masaya said with a horrified expression. Hiss. It shouldn't be. Could it be that he has been holding it in for a while? Sister, do you want to? Uchiha Makoto said to Tsunade. No way. Let's wait for a while. Damn it. This guy's too strong. Otherwise, I will lurk secretly and observe. It is said that, if girls start to age, then there will be no chance for boys. Tsunade said with a tangled face. Should we go to Lord Hatesukumo? He should be able to help inquire about it. Uchiha Makoto said helplessly. No, no, no. If they really do that, it will have a bad influence. Let Kakashi see it. Anyway, that kid goes to the dragon group to practice swordsmanship with Bai Yu every day. Tsunade said with a turn of her eyes. Yeah. Okay. This is fine. Uchiha Missy said in agreement. So, this afternoon, when Kakashi was leaving school, 3 beautiful women blocked Kakashi at the school gate. After a while, the 3 beautiful women walked away with graceful steps, very satisfied. And Kakashi, with his standard dead fish eyes, was full of helplessness. Kakashi, regarding finding out about Bai Yu and Uchiha Fugaku, if you dare to leak that we asked you to find out, be careful that you may turn into a girl. Anyway, I have seen the little face under your mask a long time ago. It is really comparable to Bai Yu. Tsunade's words made Kakashi pull up his mask. Hey, women are really troublesome. Kakashi's small body exudes the emotion of an adult. Huh. You said the 3 of them ran to the school to block you. Just to find out what we are doing? On the playground, Bai Yu was a little surprised when he heard Kakashi's words. Uchiha Fugaku's face was also full of embarrassment. Yeah, it's troublesome. Kakashi's dead fish eyes were full of helplessness. Well, you do this. You tell them that we are planning a concert. Bai Yu said with a smile. Huh? Are you going to tell them? Didn't you say it was a secret? Uchiha Fugaku asked. It's all practiced. There's no need to hide it. What surprised me is that your musical talent is really good. Bai Yu said with a smile. No, it's still you. You taught well. Uchiha Fugaku said embarrassedly. In a month's time, the Konoha current affairs newspaper was really bombarded with heavy artillery. First, there was the contribution column of Hatesukumo, and the praise book written by Bai Yu himself, praising Hatesukumo's heroic deeds. Let Hatesukumo's breaking of the rules completely pass. Then there was the condemnation special of Shimura Danzo. Shimura Danzo's crimes were listed one by one. The Uchiha clan was once again whitewashed, and they also gained the guilt of the whole village. For a time, the Uchiha clan became the dulling of the whole Konoha. Why? They were wronged for more than 4 years. Orochimaru also gained a wave of popularity. Finally, it is also the hottest topic recently. The captain of the dragon group, Bai Yu, the head of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Fugaku, jointly hold a Konoha concert. Watch for free. This topic has attracted the attention of the people of Konoha. In this era, there are really few entertainment projects, especially this kind of large-scale activities. There are even fewer. Of course, there are also performing artists on tour in this world, but they are also a minority. The time of the concert is set for a week later. It will be published in the Konoha current affairs newspaper in advance. When the 3 women learned that Bai Yu and Uchiha Fugaku were going to hold a concert, they breathed a sigh of relief and secretly aroused some interest. After all, they are their men. If they want to hold a concert, they must support it no matter what. Kakashi also breathed a sigh of relief. He went home silently. After returning home, Kakashi practiced swordsmanship for a while, and then began to think about his own training. He always felt that in addition to swordsmanship, he should learn some ninjutsu to prepare for emergencies. But he had no clue at all. What should he do? Seeing Kakashi in deep thought in the yard, Hatesukumo walked over. Chapter 88 Concert in Progress. Kakashi, what are you thinking about? Hatesukumo asked curiously. Father, I'm thinking, now that I'm practicing swordsmanship, should I also learn some ninjutsu? I just don't have a clue yet. Kakashi stood up and said. You? Really? Don't you have a famous teacher by your side? Hatesukumo was stunned when he heard this, and then said with a smile. Huh? Father, is it you? Kakashi asked in surprise. I also want to be me. But the person I'm talking about is Bai Yu. Hatesukumo said helplessly. Teacher Bai Yu, isn't he very good at swordsmanship? Kakashi asked puzzled. No. How can I describe Bai Yu? He is a monster. Hatesukumo said this, paused and continued. Bai Yu created the pure physical technique of inch force. He created the ninjutsu of acupoint pressing. When he was less than 6 years old, he learned all of Tsunade's medical ninjutsu and sublimated it on the basis of palm fairy technique. He even created healing technique. After learning the sealing technique, he also created the talisman technique and the magic spell technique, not to mention the sword technique. Bai Yu's research on ninjutsu has reached an outrageous level. Do you know that in the dragon group, if you have enough merits, you can ask Bai Yu to create a ninjutsu that belongs to you. Whether it is a seal ninjutsu or a non-seal ninjutsu, this guy can do it. Do you know the 8 people in the dragon group? Each of these 8 people was brought up by Bai Yu. Whether it is swordsmanship, ninjutsu, or other abilities, they were all taught by Bai Yu. After saying so much, do you understand? Hatake Tsukumo told Kakashi about Bai Yu's monster talent. Kakashi was stunned. No, it's confusion. Bai Yu is so powerful. I understand, father, Kakashi said firmly with a gleam in his dead fish eyes. Well, you can take a look at the lightning attribute ninjutsu at home to see if you have any ideas. When the time comes, just ask Bai Yu. I guess that guy doesn't have time to teach you recently. He is busy with a big plan. Hatake Tsukumo said with a smile. I know, father. Kakashi nodded and said, there is still half an hour before the concert starts. The stage has been set up, and there are already many people coming. Bai Yu is wearing a white robe with gold threads on it, with the temperament of a pretty boy. TSK. The author is jealous. Uchiha Fugaku is wearing a dark blue robe with the Uchiha family emblem on the back. After Bai Yu's dressing, Uchiha Fugaku actually has a kind of resolute handsomeness. Is everything done? Bai Yu asked. It's all done. Don't worry, Uchiha Fugaku said, patting his chest. Well, can we 2 brothers have a sensational proposal ceremony? It's up to us. Bai Yu said, rubbing his hands. I didn't expect that. You could do such a crazy thing. Uchiha Fugaku said with emotion. No, it's sus. Haha. Bai Yu said with a smile. That's right. Haha. Uchiha Fugaku also said with a smile. Welcome all guests. Welcome all friends who support Bai Yu and Uchiha Fugaku. Welcome to your arrival. The concert began. The host with a pretty face, wearing beautiful clothes, gave an opening speech. Tsunade, Uchiha Makoto, and Uchiha Missy sat in the front row. There were also the clan leaders of each clan, Namikaze Minato, Uzumaki Kushina, and Sarutobi Hiruzen's family. Of course, Utatane Koharu and Mito Kadoen were not among them. Bai Yu, Patriarch Fugaku. It seems that Lord Bai Yu and Lord Fugaku are very popular. Then I won't say much. Now, the performance officially begins. After the host finished speaking, she left a beautiful back and walked off the stage. The lights went out instantly, but the next second, a beam of light shone on the ground. Boom. A puff of white smoke, and Uchiha Fugaku appeared. Oh, our Lord Fugaku. So handsome. I love you. Why didn't I realize that Fugaku is quite handsome before? Uchiha Missy looked at Uchiha Fugaku and said in disbelief. Yeah, I didn't expect Fugaku to be so handsome after dressing up. Uchiha Makoto also said in disbelief. Tsunade didn't say anything because she knew that Bai Yu, the show off, would definitely show off. Uchiha Fugaku didn't say anything. The music started. One song, dedicated to everyone by the girl by the bridge. Uchiha Fugaku bowed after saying this, enjoying a wave of popular shouts. Then he began to sing along with the rhythm, the hoarse voice, the novel music, and the unprecedented intonation. Uchiha Fugaku perfectly gained a wave of popularity. Thank you, Uchiha Fugaku said with a smile. As soon as the voice fell, a pure ninjutsu firework appeared in the sky. Beautiful and cool. Needless to say, it was imitated by Bai Yu. With Uchiha Fugaku's smile, Uchiha Fugaku looked like an idol. Please welcome our Lord Bai Yu, Uchiha Fugaku said with a smile. Ah, Bai Yu. Lord Bai Yu. Thank you all for your support. How was our Lord Fugaku's singing just now? Bai Yu was full of smiles and appeared silently beside Uchiha Fugaku, standing with his hands behind his back. He had the temperament of a pretty boy, but he was very elegant. This feeling made the people in the audience crazy. Sure enough Bai Yu. But he's so handsome. Tsunade saw Bai Yu appear and looked at him with fiery eyes. Bai Yu is so handsome too. Uchiha Mikoto directly turned on the fangirl mode. Well, very handsome. But Bai Yu's style is not my cup of tea. I still like Fugaku's resolute handsomeness. As the saying goes, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Uchiha Fugaku is Uchiha Mrs. favorite. Exclamation mark. Next, a song of Wookiee for everyone. Bai Yu's voice can be tuned a little higher than Uchiha Fugaku's. But what is kneeling at the first sound? Uchiha Fugaku's voice is the kind of magnetic and rich. But Bai Yu sang it with a voice of alcohol and tobacco. Instantly ignited the whole audience. Then, the music changed again, and Uchiha Fugaku sang the song Red High Heels. Then it was Bai Yu and Uchiha Fugaku's duet, Pippa Crossing. Then, Uchiha Fugaku sang I Want to Find You. The magnetic voice made most of the audience and the audience become his fans. Bai Yu was not to be outdone, and sang a theatrical version of Memories of the Nine Gates. The audience went crazy. For the first time in history, they were shocked by the singing. The people of Konoha had never thought that songs were so beautiful. Exclamation mark. Afterwards, Bai Yu and Uchiha Fugaku performed many songs again. Okay, friends, what do you think of our singing? The music stopped. The emotions of the scene were almost ignited. Bai Yu turned into an MC and said passionately, "Good. Can't get enough of it. It's so beautiful. I feel drunk, intoxicated by the singing. Okay. Since everyone thinks it's so beautiful, let me hear your shouts." After Bai Yu finished speaking, he pointed the microphone at the audience. A wave of screams was received. Next, the highlight is coming. Fugaku. Bai Yu's eyes were excited, and he gestured to Uchiha Fugaku. Uchiha Fugaku nodded, and turned to walk off the stage. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 89 Exciting Proposal. Today is the concert held by Fugaku and I. We sang so many songs. I think everyone must have enjoyed it. But today, Fugaku and I are not just holding a concert. Bai Yu said mysteriously. In the audience, Sarutobi Hiruzen and Hatake Tsukumo, who had already known Bai Yu's plan, smiled. Even Kakashi, who was next to Hatake Tsukumo, had a smile in his dead fish eyes. And Narashikaku's eyes flashed with a moment of contemplation, and when he saw Tsunade, Uchiha Mikoto, and Uchiha Missy in the same row, his face showed a hint of understanding. He couldn't help but smile. And Akimichi Choza and Yamanaka Inoichi asked Narashikaku in a low voice, and Narashikaku was not stingy, and told them directly. Then Akimichi Choza and Yamanaka Inoichi started to spread the news everywhere. In an instant, everyone knew it, except the three women. After a while, Uchiha Fugaku and the two scrolls returned to the stage. Give Bai Yu a look. Bai Yu understood instantly. Today, Fugaku and I are going to say something to certain people. In front of everyone's witness. Bai Yu said loudly. Come on, brother. Bai Yu looked at Uchiha Fugaku. Uchiha Fugaku took a microphone and nodded. Uchiha Missy. Uchiha Fugaku was the first to shout out. Tsunade. Uchiha Mikoto. Bai Yu shouted immediately. Offstage Uchiha Missy, Tsunade, and Uchiha Mikoto seemed to realize something. Their heartbeats accelerated instantly. They stood up involuntarily. Especially Tsunade and Uchiha Mikoto. The excitement was indescribable. Marry me. Bang. Uchiha Fugaku and Bai Yu opened the scroll swiftly. Flowers, rings, appeared in their hands. Uchiha Fugaku had one set, and Bai Yu had two sets. Exciting and sweet music suddenly sounded. Wow. Oh my god. So romantic. Swish, swish, swish. Three figures appeared on the stage in an instant. Tsunade. Uchiha Mikoto. Uchiha Missy. Uchiha Fugaku put the ring on Uchiha Missy's hand. The two hugged each other. Bai Yu put the ring on Tsunade and Missy's hands. The three hugged each other. Proposal ceremony. Very successful. The concert was also very successful. This scene left a deep mark in Konoha's marriage proposal history. After the concert, except for the staff, Bai Yu and Uchiha Fugaku chatted with the friends who came to congratulate for a while. Uchiha Fugaku took Uchiha Missy's hand and went home. Bai Yu also took Tsunade and Missy home. This time, Bai Yu returned to the warm big bed. Once again enjoyed the wonderful feeling. The next day, Bai Yu, Tsunade, and Missy said that the wedding date would be set on the same day as Uchiha Fugaku. And he told the two women the steps of getting married. Tsunade and Missy nodded with a smile. For a while, Bai Yu's life was very comfortable. Hatake Tsukumo is fine. Shimura Danzo is dead. He has proposed marriage. Happy life is back. Although the dragon group is still preparing for war, Bai Yu only needs to sit for a while every day to learn the latest information. After a few days, due to Bai Yu's proposal, Tsunade and Makoto now completely regard Bai Yu as their husband and have changed their words. But Bai Yu didn't, calling him big and small wife. Of course it's impossible. Because Bai Yu was at home that day, Kakashi came to Bai Yu's house. Teacher Bai Yu, I want to learn a few ninjutsu. Kakashi stood in front of Bai Yu and said sincerely, ninjutsu? Don't you know a few? Why do you suddenly want to learn ninjutsu? Bai Yu asked. Those ninjutsu are too ordinary. If it is a battle, they have no practical effect. I was thinking, if I fight with people with swordsmanship, what should I do if I can't get in? So I want to learn a few ninjutsu. Kakashi said. Yes, sure. Do you have any ideas for ninjutsu? Bai Yu nodded and asked. I have some ideas myself. I have lightning chakra. I want to gather chakra. In this way, even without a sword, the chakra gathered in my hand can be comparable to a sword. Kakashi said. Very good idea. Have you studied it yourself? Bai Yu praised and then asked. I have studied it, but the lightning chakra is too unstable, and I can't control it. I want to stabilize the lightning chakra by making hand seals. But I haven't studied it yet. Kakashi said. Is the chakra gathered stably? Bai Yu murmured thoughtfully. Bai Yu thought for a while. A single lightning chakra began to gather in his hand. A ball of lightning chakra appeared in Bai Yu's hand. This has no practical effect. Well, how about this? Bai Yu said softly, and then a flash of lightning flashed in his eyes. I saw a ball of lightning chakra in Bai Yu's hand began to condense. But, Zizi, the lightning chakra in Bai Yu's hand condensed into a sword, bursting out a harsh sound. Just like countless birds chirping. Yes, yes, yes. That's it. Teacher Bai Yu, you are so amazing. Kakashi was excited when he saw his idea appear in Bai Yu's hands. Bai Yu smiled and scratched the ground casually. The ground was like tofu. There was a mark cut, and the cut had a faint trace of burning. Have you named this ninjutsu? Bai Yu asked with a smile. Since this technique was created by you, the teacher, then you should name it. Kakashi thought for a while and said. But the idea of this ninjutsu is yours. I just helped you complete it. Hurry up and name it. If you refuse, I won't help you perfect it. Bai Yu said with a smile. Okay then. How about calling it Chidori? When the teacher was condensing just now, it seemed as if there were thousands of birds chirping, so let's call it Chidori. Kakashi thought for a while and said. Not bad. Very good. Very appropriate. Now I will teach you. Bai Yu said with a smile. Kakashi, how do you master the attribute changes of chakra? Bai Yu asked. I haven't practiced it yet. Kakashi said awkwardly. Is that so? Well, it's okay. I'll tell you about this technique now. Bai Yu said with a smile. Kakashi nodded awkwardly. Chidori is a ninjutsu. The advantage is that it has great lethality. But it's hard to control the direction. Because of the characteristics of this technique, the straight line distance will be very fast. But if you want to turn with thunder attribute, it's a bit far-fetched. And it consumes a lot of chakra. Of course, if you fully master the changes in thunder attribute chakra, then the disadvantage of consuming chakra will be improved. Now, you can condense and stabilize thunder attribute chakra by making hand seals. As for making hand seals, well, let me think about it. Bai Yu said this, and fell into deep thought. After all, a ninjutsu, making hand seals is very important. If there are too many hand seals set, it will be a bit useless. Bai Yu thought for a long time and smiled. I can compress the hand seals to be performed in this ninjutsu into 3. Just like this. Bai Yu finished speaking and slowed down the hand seals with both hands. After the 3 hand seals were made, the right hand instantly appeared with thunder escape, Chidori! Exclamation mark. Seeing this, Kakashi excitedly repeated the seal made by Bai Yu. As soon as the seal was made, the chakra in his body disappeared quickly like water being sucked away. Then, a blue blade of light appeared in his right hand. Just as a bird cried, it disappeared. Stopped abruptly. Kakashi was a little embarrassed. Ha ha ha. Don't be impatient, you still have very little chakra now. The first time you perform ninjutsu, you will definitely not be able to control the consumption of chakra. Practice slowly. In the future, you will not only practice swordsmanship, but also practice the mastery of chakra attribute changes. Bai Yu said with a smile. How should I practice the change of chakra attributes? Kakashi asked. Well, just like this. Bai Yu flashed a sly smile at the corner of his mouth. His left hand quickly condensed a ball of lightning attribute chakra, covering Kakashi. Kakashi was like being electrocuted and danced a mechanical dance. Don't be stunned, feel the chakra. Bai Yu said hurriedly. Chapter 90 The Birth of Chidori. In the following days, Kakashi's training career had one more thing, being struck by lightning. At first, Kakashi thought Bai Yu was playing a prank on him. Later, as he became more and more aware of the lightning attribute chakra, he realized that Bai Yu was really teaching him how to master the changes in chakra attributes. Bai Yu explained to Kakashi that the same attribute chakra, when you are in the situation, your understanding will deepen. A week later, lightning escape, Chidori, accompanied by the sound of birds singing, Kakashi successfully used Chidori! Exclamation mark. Congratulations. Congratulations. You succeeded, Kakashi. Bai Yu smiled and praised. Thank you, teacher. Kakashi bowed to Bai Yu. What are you thanking me for? This is the result of your own training. If you don't work hard, you won't have such good results. Bai Yu said with a smile. Well, teacher Bai Yu. Can I bring 3 classmates to practice together tomorrow? Kakashi said with some difficulty. Hey, did the sun rise from the west today? Lone Ranger Kakashi actually has a partner? Bai Yu joked after hearing this. Not a partner, just a classmate. They are very curious about how I can practice here, teacher, and have been pestering me for a long time. I feel very troubled. So, Kakashi explained embarrassedly. It's okay. Come on. Are the companions male or female? Bai Yu asked with a smile. 2 men and 1 woman. Kakashi said. Hey, there are girls. Is she your girlfriend? Bai Yu started to joke. No, teacher, don't get me wrong. Kakashi explained hurriedly. Yeah, I understand. No, not yet. Okay, go home early. Bring your girlfriend here tomorrow. Let me see it. Bai Yu said with a smile as if he understood. Hey, I'll go back first, teacher. Kakashi's standard dead fish eyes rose again. Walking out of Bai Yu's house, Kakashi looked helpless. The bell for the end of get out of class rang. Kakashi was followed by 3 little followers. Noharin, Archihara, and my guy. We're at Shiraha's house. Don't cause me any trouble. Especially you, Obito. Kakashi said earnestly at the door of Shiraha's house. TSK. I won't do that. Archihara said with disdain. Kakashi sighed and knocked on the door of Shiraha's house. It was Tsunade who opened the door. Uchiha was preparing dinner. Because Shiraha said that Kakashi would come with his friends today, Uchiha decided to make a sumptuous dinner to welcome him. Kakashi, you're here. Come in. Tsunade said with a smile. Honey, Kakashi and his friends are here. Tsunade then shouted. Here they come. Shiraha ran out of the house in his home clothes. Come, let me see who is Kakashi's girlfriend. Shiraha said with a smile. Then Bai Yu's eyes were fixed on the little girl with 2 purple camouflages on her face. She was really cute. Are you Kakashi's girlfriend? What's your name? Bai Yu said with a smile. No, uncle, Lin is my girlfriend. Uchiha quickly jumped out to explain. Oh, so that's it. Kakashi, you have to work hard. Look at that guy, how great. Bai Yu said jokingly. Of course, I'm the best. Uncle, you are still wise. Haha. Uchiha said with a big laugh. Kakashi on the side, dead fish eyes fired. Exclamation mark. Tsunade-sama, my name is Noharin. I have admired you for a long time. My dream is to become a medical ninja as good as you. Noharin blushed and came to Tsunade and said, ah. Haha. Little girl, you have a good eye. Not bad. You can come over when you have time in the future. If you have talent, I will teach you medical ninjutsu. Tsunade saw a fan and instantly recovered her nature, with her hands on her hips and said cheerfully, really? Great. Noharin said excitedly, Uncle, my name is Uchiha Obito. Can you teach me a few moves? I want to defeat Kakashi. Uchiha Obito glanced at Kakashi and said, and me, Lord Bai Yu, my youth tells me, you should teach me a few ninjutsu. My blood is already boiling. Might guy on the side said with a big smile on his face full of youth. Haha. Okay. Come here. Xiaolin, since you are so compatible, go and talk to Tsunade. Bai Yu said with a smile. Tsunade also smiled and led Noharin aside. Come with me. Bai Yu said and walked to the martial arts field in the yard. Kakashi, you practice swordsmanship first. Then feel the chakra attributes yourself. That method is not very useful now. You have to understand it yourself. Bai Yu said. Yes, teacher. Kaka said and drew out the white fang blade with his backhand. Bai Yu frowned when he saw this. Kakashi, you don't need to come to me yet. Go to the dragon group and find the old man who makes weapons. Ask him to modify your white fang blade. Your swordsmanship is not suitable for a short sword. Bai Yu said loudly. Well, I understand, teacher. I will go home and tell my father and then prepare the materials for making weapons. Kakashi said respectfully. You kid. What materials do you need to prepare? The dragon group has plenty. You don't need this. Even if you tell brother Tsukumo about this, he won't prepare it. Bai Yu said with a smile. Thank you, teacher. Kakashi was grateful in his heart and bowed to Bai Yu. Okay, stop doing useless things. Practice with my Bai Yu sword. Bai Yu waved his hand. The Bai Yu sword instantly stabbed from the house and pierced the ground in front of Kakashi. Bai Yu, you scared me. You can't come in with a sword. You are not allowed to go to bed tonight. Tsunade's voice came from the house. In fact, it's not Tsunade's fault. After all, with a whoosh, a cold long sword passed by in front of his eyes, silently, and anyone would be startled. Ahem. It's okay. Kakashi, you practice with it. Bai Yu said awkwardly. Hey, I didn't expect Uncle Bai Yu to be a henpecked husband. Haha. At this time, Uchiha Obito whispered to Might Guy with a wretched face. Hey, kid. Your name is Uchiha Obito, right? I have a very good ear. Bai Yu said with 3 black lines on his forehead. The strength of the Uchiha family has always been linked to the Sharingan. Have you opened the Sharingan? Bai Yu asked afterwards. Not yet. Uchiha Obito said awkwardly. Is that so? How is your ninjutsu training? Bai Yu asked. That I know. The fire style great fireball technique. Uchiha Obito said quickly. Oh. Come and use it for me to see. Bai Yu said curiously. Uchiha Obito heard this, and his face straightened. He skillfully made seals with both hands. Fire style. Great fireball technique. Uchiha Obito finished his seal, and a puff of black smoke came out of his mouth. Bai Yu suddenly felt unwell. Kakashi almost cut his foot with the Bai Yu sword, and Might Guy said with his sharp teeth, Yo. Obito, youth cannot fail. Do it again. Burn. Youth. Chapter 91 Teachings to 3 people. Obito, you should practice chakra control more now. You are not very proficient in chakra control yet. Bai Yu said patiently. Okay. Uchiha Obito went to practice on the side helplessly. What about me? What about me? Might Guy looked at Bai Yu expectantly. You should be a physical ninja, right? Bai Yu said while looking at Might Guy in a green tights. Yeah. Might Guy nodded and said. In that case, no need to say more. You will know after a fight. Bai Yu said with a smile. He kept some distance from Might Guy. Please give me more advice, Lord Bai Yu. Might Guy said to Bai Yu politely. Haha. Please give me more advice too. Come on. Bai Yu said. Konoha whirlwind. Might Guy kicked Bai Yu with one leg. Bai Yu saw it. Not bad. Solid moves, good strength, and hard training. But the agility is a little lacking. Bai Yu raised his hand and grabbed Might Guy's ankle and threw him out. Konoha Great Cyclone. Might Guy attacked again unyieldingly. This time Bai Yu did not throw Might Guy out, because feeding moves is also a way to improve. Bai Yu then fought with Might Guy's moves. Konoha's strong cyclone. Might Guy made a powerful roundhouse kick, and Bai Yu still blocked it. Master Bai Yu is really amazing. Fighting with Bai Yu, Might Guy fully felt Bai Yu's strength. And Bai Yu is really amiable. Now Might Guy attacked more unscrupulously. Originally, there were some restraints and strict prohibitions, but with Might Guy's liberating attack, the moves can be clearly seen to be more flexible. And the means of attack also have new combinations. Bai Yu is also very happy with Might Guy's progress. Fighting with Might Guy for a long time, Might Guy finally began to breathe because of the continuous attack. However, Bai Yu was surprised at Might Guy's physical strength. It's not that Might Guy is weak, but Might Guy's physical strength is really high. Okay, let's go here and take a rest, Bai Yu said with a smile. Master Bai Yu, you are really amazing. Might Guy sat on the ground, panting, and said with his white teeth shining, you are not bad. I have found a way for you to improve. You can listen to me while you rest, Bai Yu said sitting next to Might Guy. Yeah. Might Guy nodded quickly. Physical ninja. The most important thing is physical strength. In this regard, you are very good. However, because physical ninjas are not good at ninjutsu, you still need to improve your speed. If the enemy seizes the opportunity, you will have no room to fight back. Unless you are very resistant to beating. Haha. Another is flexibility. Fast speed does not mean flexibility. Why do you say that? Flexibility represents reaction speed. For example, your speed reaches 10, but your reaction speed only reaches 5. Do you know what will happen? Bai Yu asked. I don't know. Might Guy shook his head quickly. This makes it easy to make mistakes. You punch quickly, but you can't take it back. Isn't it easy for the enemy to seize the opportunity? So, you have to keep exercising your physical strength. You also have to exercise your speed and reaction ability. Reaction ability needs to be practiced in battle. With more battles, you will naturally develop a sense of combat. At this time, not only your reaction ability, but also your combat experience will be improved a lot. Bai Yu said. I don't quite understand. But as long as I keep fighting, I will improve quickly. Might Guy touched his head embarrassedly. I said so much in vain. Bai Yu said embarrassedly in his heart. Yes, that's what I mean. Bai Yu said with a smile. Well, please fight me, Lord Bai Yu. Might Guy quickly stood up and said with his white teeth. No. Fighting with me will not help you improve. Because I'm too much better than you. You can't learn the corresponding experience at all. For example, this. Bai Yu just finished speaking, blinked and appeared behind Might Guy. Might Guy turned around suddenly. Bai Yu poked a finger between Might Guy's eyebrows. Got it. If I take action, it will be difficult to make significant progress for your improvement. You can find partners around you to practice with. You can also find some seniors to practice with. Bai Yu said with a smile. Well, I know. Youth does not allow retreat. Might Guy's eyes burst with bloody passion. Kakashi, let's fight. My sworn enemy. Youth does not allow waste. Konoha whirlwind. Might Guy shouted at Kakashi who was practicing sword. Then he attacked with a whip kick. Kakashi had no choice. Insert the Bai Yu sword into the ground. Fight with Might Guy with bare hands. Hey, Uncle Bai Yu. Just teach me some tricks. I feel so bored practicing this chakra control all the time. At some point, Hachihirobito came to Bai Yu and whispered. Well, let me think about it. Bai Yu said helplessly. Then he thought about how to teach Hachihirobito. Under Hachihirobito's expectant eyes, Bai Yu finally spoke. Chakra mastery is very important. Climbing trees, treading water and the like are indeed a bit boring. I will teach you a new way. You are not the kind of person who can practice quietly. That's it. Watch carefully. Bai Yu finished speaking. A ball of fire attribute chakra condensed in his hand. Then he controlled the flame to transform into various shapes. It turned into a bird. It turned into a puppy and then into a turtle. How about it? It's very interesting. Bai Yu said with a smile. It's very interesting. But I always feel it's useless. Hachihirobito said tangledly. Useless? Ha, you are watching. Bai Yu heard helplessly. A big fireball condensed in his hand again, turning into a firebird. Then, the firebird flew out by itself and landed on the ground. The originally exquisite firebird instantly turned into a ball of flame. The grass was instantly burned to ashes. Even a small part of the ground was vaporized. Of course, this is because Bai Yu did not exert his full strength. Uncle Bai Yu, teach me, I want to learn. Urahibito saw this and immediately said excitedly, haha, okay, this is the first step. It is to condense the fire attribute chakra in the palm of your hand and make sure it does not disperse. The second step is to control the size of the flame. When you can control the size of the flame, I will teach you the next step. Bai Yu said with a smile. Yoshi, Uncle Bai Yu, just watch. I, Uncle Obito, guarantee that I can condense it in minutes. Urahibito said confidently. Then he ran to the side and started practicing. However, what made Bai Yu helpless was Urahibito almost burned himself. Exclamation mark. It just so happened that this kid was like possessed by evil, condensing flames crazily. Bai Yu had to be ready to throw a water ball at any time to put out the fire for Urahibito. It can only be said that Urahibito's control of chakra is really poor. Exclamation mark. Chapter 92 The Wedding. Fortunately, Urahibito's training time was not very long, and Naruto ran out and invited everyone to eat. Bai Yu breathed a sigh of relief, finally liberated. However, Bai Yu couldn't help but think, what if Urahibito self-immolated during training? Xiaolin, come here. Bai Yu called Naruto. Pull Naruto aside. What's the matter? Naruto said respectfully. It's like this. When Obito is training on his own in the future, you should pay more attention to him. I'm afraid that the child will be in danger. Bai Yu said helplessly. Ah, what happened? Urahibito is Naruto's partner, and Naruto is also a kind-hearted girl. He asked quickly. Bai Yu had to tell Naruto what happened just now. So, I'm afraid that Obito will self-immolate during training. Bai Yu said helplessly. Ah, so that's it. Don't worry, Lord Bai Yu. I will pay more attention. Naruto breathed a sigh of relief and said with a smile. Well, let's go. Let's go eat. Mikoto's cooking skills are very good. Bai Yu said with a smile. The sumptuous dinner allowed Bai Yu to witness the madness of Might Guy and Urahibito, just like the reincarnation of starving ghosts. Naruto was ashamed to see Urahibito's eating style. What shocked Bai Yu the most was that Kakashi ate so fast. Bai Yu only looked at Urahibito and Might Guy for a while, and Kakashi had finished eating. Although the mouth behind the mask was still chewing. But Kakashi finished eating. Bai Yu couldn't help but wonder if Kakashi had any mental problems. Otherwise, why would he always wear a mask? I remember that he didn't wear a mask when he was a child. It seems necessary to have a chat with Kakashi. After dinner, Naruto helped Tsunade and Mikoto to clean up the dishes. Bai Yu and Kakashi talked about training. But then, Bai Yu's personal show began. In fact, it was not that Bai Yu had to brag about himself. It was that Urahibito and Might Guy were very curious about Bai Yu's previous deeds. So, Bai Yu began to tell how he took the enemy's head in the midst of thousands of troops. He told how he killed the sand ninja of the wind country and called himself the death god of Konoha. In the end, even Kakashi couldn't help but admire Bai Yu in his heart. I have to say that this wave of brainwashing was very successful and very comfortable. It was getting late, and Kakashi and a few others said goodbye to Bai Yu with reluctance. What Kakashi didn't expect was that from then on, it was no longer just him who came to Bai Yu's house to practice, but 3 more people. Naruto was recognized by Tsunade and learned some medical ninja knowledge from Tsunade. Urahibito shamelessly said that he would be where it was. Might Guy said with a look of burning youth. Kakashi, you are my sworn enemy. I will be where you are. Youth is not allowed to be wasted. The blood is burning. The corners of Kakashi's mouth behind the mask were twitching. Assholes, a bunch of assholes. Aren't they delaying my progress in training? Exclamation mark. But Kakashi still accepted it silently. If we talk about companions, these people are my companions. No, it's impossible. Time passed little by little, and Kakashi and his friends grew up very fast. Especially my guy. Bai Yu taught Takai and Bajikwan to my guy. When Might Guy learned about it, he enthusiastically expressed his sincere thanks to Bai Yu. Uchiha Obito gave Bai Yu a pair of goggles. Kakashi gave Bai Yu a ninja dog. The black one is very cute. According to Kakashi, he plans to train a ninja dog. Bai Yu naturally accepted it happily and named it Ziohei. But it was met with Bailong's dissatisfaction. Under Bai Yu's comfort, Bailong also swallowed his anger and acquiesced. This day, it was still the largest square in Konoha. A huge stage. The setting was very sweet, full of the taste of love. Bai Yu's wedding ceremony finally came today. There are many seats under the stage, which are prepared for guests. Bai Yu and Uchiha Fugaku invited everyone, except Utatane Koharu and Mito Kadoen. There are now 197 members in the dragon group. At this time, all of them stood on both sides of the stage, madly launching ninjutsu into the sky, acting as fireworks. It's like they don't need any money. It's very environmentally friendly and gorgeous, but it consumes a little chakra. This is an international wedding, and those with parents are sitting under the stage. There is no etiquette. There is only the master of ceremonies, Hatake Tsukumo. On such a festive day, I'm honored to witness the birth of two new families. Please welcome Bai Yu and his two wives, Tsunade and Uchiha Makoto. Please welcome Uchiha Fugaku and his wife Uchiha Missy. Hatake Tsukumo said. At this time, the members of the dragon group are no longer releasing fireworks ninjutsu. It is said that people are the most handsome and beautiful when they are married, and it is true. Both Bai Yu and Uchiha Fugaku are much more handsome than on the day of the concert. Moreover, Tsunade's mature charm, Mikoto's exquisite curves, and Mrs. Tall and slender figure are more attractive than ever. At this exciting moment, do you two grooms have anything to say? Hatake Tsukumo said with a smile. Then Hatake Tsukumo handed the microphone to Uchiha Fugaku. Uchiha Fugaku has been hanging out with Bai Yu for so many days, and finally he has become a little thick-skinned. He calmly took the microphone and said, "Thank you all for coming. Thank you to everyone in Konoha for being able to witness the love between our two families." After saying that, Uchiha Fugaku bowed to the audience. The applause continued for a while. Uchiha Fugaku continued, "I'm not a person who is good at speaking. I just said it very directly. Today is the happiest moment in my life. It's a bit embarrassing to say that I'm a bit stupid. It was not until I was on a mission with Missy that I realized my love for Missy. Today I stand here, in front of everyone in Konoha, and I swear that I will always love Uchiha Missy in this life." Uchiha Fugaku said with great determination. The concise language and sincere emotions deeply moved everyone. The look in Uchiha Fugaku's eyes, when he looked at Uchiha Missy also fully proved that the Uchiha clan was not a dark clan. On the contrary, this clan was very serious, persistent, and valued about feelings. Uchiha Missy looked at Uchiha Fugaku with tears in her eyes. Without saying anything, at this moment she felt that she was the happiest woman in the world. Hatake Tsukumo handed the microphone to Bai Yu. Bai Yu first looked at Tsunade and Uchiha Makoto affectionately. Then he took a step forward. At this moment, I think everyone will think I'm very happy, right? To be honest, I'm not happy now. Bai Yu said this and paused deliberately. There was silence in the audience. Tsunade and Uchiha Missy looked at Bai Yu with pale faces. Why? Did I do something wrong? Even Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Missy frowned and looked at Bai Yu. Tsunade and Uchiha Missy were about to cry. Although Bai Yu spoke quickly, this small pause seemed to suffocate Tsunade and Uchiha Makoto. However, when they heard Bai Yu's next words, they were relieved, their blood color returned, and they smiled again. Chapter 93 Uchiha Shisu. I'm happy now. I'm excited. I'm thrilled. Such perfect girls have become my wives. I feel like the goddess of luck has taken care of me. Bai Yu's words made everyone feel relieved and laughed. Bai Yu's bad friends, such as Narashikaku, were now madly complaining about Bai Yu. Many people think that I must be a playboy because I have two wives. Haha, I admit it. I'm a playboy. However, I think I'm right. Tsunade has always been behind me, silently helping me with strategies. Makoto, she is like a caring little cotton padded jacket, taking care of me in every possible way. I want to ask, who has the heart to abandon one of these two good girls? Please forgive my selfishness. Once again, I solemnly swear, I, Bai Yu, have only 2 wives in this life. They are Tsunade and Uchiha Mikoto. I, Bai Yu, will protect the safety of these 2 girls in this life, and will not let them be bullied at all. I will protect the 2 girls until my death. If anyone dares to bully them, I, Bai Yu, will not let him go, even if I turn into a ghost. Bai Yu's domineering words made Tsunade and Uchiha Mikoto look like playboys. Their breathing became a little rapid. Even some young girls in the audience looked at Bai Yu with loving eyes. I just said that I'm not happy. This is true. Why? Because I'm not good enough. The 2 of them are so good. They are so perfect that I'm afraid that I haven't done enough and haven't given them the best love. But I'll try my best. Thank you. I'm done. Bai Yu's performance is simply amazing. I have to say Bai Yu's ear. At this moment, Tsunade and Mikoto feel that they are willing to die for Bai Yu even in the next moment. The next item is to exchange rings. Then the guests will be transferred to the Senju ancestral home. There is no way there are too many people. And Bai Yu also said that in order to celebrate, all the snacks in Bai Yu's restaurants will be 10% off for 3 days. At this time, everyone in Konoha is cheering for Bai Yu. Too generous. Then, Bai Yu has not gone out since his marriage, and he didn't go out until a week later, when he arrived at the Dragon Group base on time. Haha. However, Bai Yu got information and the negotiation with the Sand Ninja was postponed. The reason is that the one-tailed Jinchuriki is out of control. For the safety of Konoha's personnel who went to negotiate, it was postponed to the beginning of spring after the new year. Bai Yu curled his lips after seeing the information. Shukaku must be the guy who is anxious to seek revenge on me, right? Bai Yu thought to himself. Unexpectedly, he guessed it right. Hey, hurry up, I'm going to seek revenge on Bai Yu. You look similar to Fuku when you were young, so I didn't let you suffer for too long. Hurry up and find Bai Yu. I'm going to kill him. The chosen one-tailed Jinchuriki is called Kabuki, a middle-aged uncle, just like the one-tail said. He looks a bit like Fuku. His ninjutsu is mediocre, but his physical fitness is very good. He has a high degree of compatibility with Shukaku, and can easily display the tailed beast mode. Of course, it depends on Shukaku's mood. Of course I will go. But not now. Kabuki has a good personality, and is very peaceful. Even if Shukaku is yelling, Kabuki doesn't get angry, and is always calm. I'm going to tear that Bai Yu guy apart. Oh no, Lord Kabuki is going berserk again. The new year of Konoha is coming again. Shisu. This is the Lord Bai Yu you always talk about. On this day, Uchiha Fugaku brought Uchiha Missy to Bai Yu's house as a guest. He also brought her child. Bai Yu almost misunderstood. Finally, after Uchiha Fugaku's explanation, Bai Yu finally understood. Bai Yu thought that Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Missy had been secretly Lord Bai Yu. Uchiha Shisu looked at Bai Yu with fiery admiration in his eyes. Uchiha Shisu was 1 year younger than Kakashi at this time. Shisu is the new genius of my Uchiha clan. He has a lot of experience in instant body and illusion. Uchiha Fugaku praised without reservation. Oh, is that so? Although Fugaku is a little confused at ordinary times, but he is still very stingy with praise. It seems that Shisu, you are really outstanding. Bai Yu said with a smile. You guy. Uchiha Fugaku said helplessly. After getting married, not only Bai Yu, but even Uchiha Fugaku became mature. If they were asked to have an exciting concert now, it would be impossible. I feel that I still have many shortcomings. Uchiha Shisu said embarrassedly. Let's go. I already know some of the intentions of this guy Fugaku. Bai Yu glanced at Uchiha Fugaku and came to the yard with a confused little Shisu. Uchiha Fugaku touched his nose awkwardly. Yes, in addition to visiting, he really wanted Bai Yu to give Uchiha Shisu some advice. Uchiha Missy pulled Tsunade and Uchiha Mikoto to talk about some things after marriage, all topics between women. Uchiha Fugaku looked at Bai Yu and little Shisu in the yard board. Sir Bai Yu. Uchiha Shisu already understood that Bai Yu wanted to teach him, and he was extremely excited at this time. From the moment he learned that Bai Yu had redressed the grievances of the Uchiha clan, Bai Yu was not only his idol, but also a benefactor. Well, I heard from Fugaku that you are very good at the instant body technique. Come on, attack me and let me see what your weakness is. Bai Yu nodded and said with a smile, okay, sorry. Uchiha Shizu has a high level of combat literacy. After entering the combat state, the whole person has changed, which Bai Yu agrees with. After all, combat is combat. If you can't stay alert and concentrate in combat, you are looking for death. Uchiha Shizu quickly formed seals with both hands. Fire style. Great fireball technique. A scorching flame spurted out of Uchiha Shizu's mouth. Straight to Bai Yu. Seeing this, Bai Yu had to say in his heart, Abato, crushed to death. Look at Shizu. TSK. Bai Yu condensed a fireball in his hand and threw it directly at Uchiha Shizu. The power was just right. It just suppressed Uchiha Shizu's ninjutsu. The next second, Uchiha Shizu was annihilated by the fireball. Just when Bai Yu was in a trance and was surprised for a moment, Uchiha Shizu came to Bai Yu in an instant. The shuriken in his hand pierced Bai Yu's heart. Bai Yu stretched out 2 fingers and a layer of pure chakra film condensed on his hand. When Bai Yu touched Uchiha Shizu's shuriken, Uchiha Shizu's figure disappeared quickly. Bai Yu's eyes lit up. Is this instant? Exclamation mark. He can actually use instant body flickering without seals. This talent is really amazing. However, there are still flaws. Bai Yu turned around suddenly. Condensed chakra sword in his hand. His figure disappeared instantly after a feint. The next second, Bai Yu's white hand pressed on Uchiha Shizu's shoulder. I lost. You are too powerful, Lord Bai Yu. There was no discouragement in Uchiha Shizu's eyes, only endless admiration. Haha. It's not that I'm powerful. I caught your weakness. Bai Yu gently poked Shizu's forehead. He said with a smile. Uchiha Shizu felt that Bai Yu's gentle poking seemed to have poked into his heart. It felt so strange to be poked in the forehead. Let's prepare the New Year's Eve dinner first. Tomorrow, you come to my house and I will teach you, tell you your shortcomings, and how to improve your body flickering technique. Bai Yu said with a smile. Yes, Lord Bai Yu. Uchiha Shizu said excitedly. Uchiha Fugaku, who was watching the show, was drafted to prepare the New Year's Eve dinner. Bai Yu took Uchiha Fugaku with him to get busy. Chapter 90 Teachings to Uchiha Shizu. Master Bai Yu, I'm sorry to bother you. The next day, little Uchiha Shizu woke up Bai Yu who was sleeping late on time. Looking at Bai Yu's wrinkled home clothes, Uchiha Shizu said apologetically. It's okay. Come in. Bai Yu said awkwardly. Uchiha Shizu followed Bai Yu to the yard and stood opposite him. Shizu, your instant body technique is very proficient, but there is a fatal weakness, that is, the attack position. After performing the instant body technique is too monotonous. Any ninja who is prepared can easily discover your attack intention. Moreover, you have ignored the ability of the perception type ninja. The perception type ninja will sense your sudden chakra one step ahead of you. If the perception ninja reacts quickly, it is easy to seize the opportunity and take the initiative against you. Bai Yu said seriously. Then how can I make up for it? Uchiha Shizu felt that he had suddenly opened his eyes after listening to Bai Yu's words. There was a feeling of clearing the fog. Simple. Trio of instantaneous body movement, ghost shadow. These are the 2 ways of attacking with instantaneous body movement that I want to teach you. Bai Yu suddenly discovered that Shizu had strangely opened his single Magatama Sharingan due to excessive excitement. WTF. Bai Yu couldn't help but shout inwardly. My eyes, unexpectedly. Uchiha Shizu also noticed the changes in his eyes at this time. He was so excited that he didn't know what to do. Seeing Uchiha Shizu's appearance, Bai Yu couldn't help but feel funny. Although Shizu has a strong talent, he is also a child. Congratulations, Shizu. Let me show you the trio of instantaneous body movement first. Bai Yu said with a smile. Uchiha Shizu nodded excitedly. Watch it. Bai Yu shouted. Bai Yu's body instantly turned into dozens of afterimages, then disappeared, and instantly appeared behind Uchiha Shizu, and then when Uchiha Shizu turned around, a breeze blew behind him. At the same time, a hand pressed on Uchiha Shizu's shoulder, and the afterimage in front of Uchiha Shizu disappeared. Uchiha Shizu was stunned. This is unscientific. Let me explain to you the process just now. First, use the characteristics of the instant body technique and the clone technique to combine the two ninjutsu together and instantly create a clone with a small amount of chakra to confuse the enemy. Then use the instant body technique again to come to the enemy's blind spot, which can be behind or at other locations. But in order to avoid the perception type ninja and the special ninja to discover your instant body technique, use the explosive power of inch force to come to the enemy's unexpected position. When using inch force, use illusion to confuse the enemy for a while and stimulate the enemy's senses. Look behind you. There is a small pit at the foot of the after image where I disappeared. This is because I used illusion to minimize the impact of this small pit. Bai Yu said slowly. Uchiha looked back at the ground, and there was indeed a small pit. His admiration for Bai Yu became even deeper. As for the ghost shadow, it is a kind of instant body technique that combines inch force and instant body technique. It emphasizes flexibility. Let's fight and I will show you, Bai Yu said with a smile. Uchiha nodded, picked up the shuriken, and stabbed Bai Yu without hesitation. Bai Yu moved, bringing countless after images. It seemed to attack Uchiha, but it was actually an after image, and the real Bai Yu poked Uchiha's forehead at a tricky and weird angle. Uchiha was stunned for a moment, his face turned red, and then he started to fight Bai Yu seriously again. Uchiha, who had been fighting for a long time, felt extremely frustrated. Every time he thought he had stabbed Bai Yu, the result was an after image. Finally, Bai Yu poked Uchiha's forehead again. Okay, the demonstration is over. Let's stop here for now, Bai Yu said with a smile. Yes, Lord Bai Yu, Uchiha said. Well, these two instant body techniques are a combination of inch force and instant body techniques. The instant body trio is relatively simple. The ghost shadow is more difficult. There are no rules, no routines, only endless changes. The real is the virtual, and the virtual is the real. The virtual is the real, the real is the virtual, and you need to see and deal with all these by yourself. Bai Yu paused. Uchiha also quickly signaled Bai Yu that he understood. Okay, this is for you, go back and memorize it. Bai Yu handed Uchiha a human meridian map that he had compiled. What is this? Uchiha opened it excitedly and found a bunch of little people. The little people knew Uchiha, but Uchiha didn't know the little people. This is a human meridian map. I researched it. With this map, you can quickly know how inch force is exerted and master the skills of inch force more quickly, Bai Yu said with a smile. Well, please rest assured, Master Bai Yu. I will try my best to memorize it, Uchiha said solemnly when he heard it. Bai Yu explained the meridian map to Uchiha again, and Uchiha said goodbye. Teacher Bai Yu, I want to apply for early graduation. On the third day after the new year, Kakashi ran to Bai Yu's house to give him a New Year's gift, and then said to Bai Yu, why do you suddenly want to graduate early? Bai Yu asked in surprise. I want to carry out the mission earlier. Promoted to Chunin. My father often said that things will not be peaceful again recently. So I want to have the strength to participate in the battle as soon as possible. Most importantly, I want to be promoted to Jonin as soon as possible and join the dragon group, Kakashi said in a deep voice. If Tsukumo knew that I'd pried his son into the dragon group, his expression would be very interesting. Okay, I agree. But I won't give you special treatment. If you want to join the dragon group, you must have an assessment. And for the time being, the dragon group has no plans to join new people. You still need to experience. Bai Yu said seriously. I know, Mr. Bai Yu. And even if you don't say it, I will ask you to treat me strictly, Kakashi said solemnly. Well, okay. It's good to be aware of it. In fact, it's good to graduate early. Talking about the will of fire is nonsense. It's better to say it's a belief in protection, Bai Yu said with a smile. Belief in protection? Kakashi seemed a little confused when he heard this for the first time. You are still young. Why do you think so much? You will understand it slowly. Bai Yu saw Kakashi's confusion. Mr. Bai Yu, I have a new idea about ninjutsu recently. It was the effect of your casual swing that day. No matter how I control Chidori, I can't achieve the teacher's free swing that day. So, I worked hard for a long time. Finally, I have a new idea, Kakashi said. Okay, Kakashi, It's only been a short time, and you have a new idea again. If you have any questions, just come to me. Bai Yu said approvingly. Thank you, Mr. Bai Yu. Kakashi just finished speaking. A particularly naughty shout sounded at the door of Bai Yu's house. Uncle Bai Yu, I succeeded. Not only can I control the flame, but I can also control the size of the flame. Haha, I'm indeed a genius. This was the proud voice of Uchiha Obito. Chapter 95, Katodan sacrifices himself, and Shukaku goes berserk. 2 days later, Uchiha Shizu came to Bai Yu's house again. He officially began to practice daily with Bai Yu. For a time, Uchiha Shizu's application of the instant body technique was very fast. However, on this day, the village held a memorial service again. Katodan was killed by a ninja while patrolling the border. Before his death, Katodan still guarded an important document that he had taken from his arms. This document is a defense location map of Konoha village. In recent times, Konoha village has made many new adjustments in defense to prevent the war from coming again. If this information is leaked, it will undoubtedly be a crisis for Konoha. In this way, the enemy can raid Konoha according to the signs on the defense map, and Konoha will be passive at that time. It can be said that Katodan made great contributions to Konoha village with his own sacrifice. So Sarutobi Hiruzen held a memorial service for Katodan's sacrifice. And Konoha's current affairs newspaper also publicized several issues about Katodan's heroic deeds. For a time, Katodan was remembered in the hearts of the people of Konoha. But how long it will last, that's unknown. Katodan's matter seemed to be a fuse. The ninja world seemed to be uneasy again. The sand village in the land of wind. Narushikaku and Orochimaru led the 8 members of the dragon group to the sand village. They were greeted by Chiyo's younger brother, Ibizo. Are you the representative sent by Konoha? War compensation has always been a serious topic. Although it was the sand village that made the invitation, the sand ninja was defeated by Konoha after all. So it was normal for Ibizo to be impolite. This was also expected by Narushikaku and Orochimaru. Narushikaku and Orochimaru have clear division of labor. It seems that Orochimaru is the leader, but in fact, Narushikaku is responsible for the negotiations. And Orochimaru is responsible for the military, and secretly collects some intelligence. Yes. My name is Narushikaku, and he is Lord Orochimaru. Narushikaku made out the priorities in one sentence. Nara family? Exclamation mark. The Nara family is famous for its high IQ. Ibizo has also been famous for a long time. Looking at Narushikaku's wise and narrow eyes, Ibizo couldn't help but become cautious in his heart. For this negotiation, Ibizo decided to make more preparations. Well, please follow me. I have prepared accommodation for you. After Ibizo finished speaking, he gestured slightly and left first. There was no intention of entertaining guests at all. Haha, I was defeated by you. You are here to collect debts. Will I be nice to you? Arrived at the residence. When will the negotiation begin? Narushikaku asked lightly. Well, please stay here patiently. The 3rd generation Kazekage is still sorting out the compensation materials. After the sorting is completed, I will ask you to negotiate as soon as possible. Ibizo's eyes changed obscurely and said. Ibizo's words were quite pertinent. Narushikaku and Orochimaru didn't say anything. Let Ibizo leave. There is a problem. Narushikaku said to Orochimaru after Ibizo left completely. Oh. What did Shikaku-kun find out? Orochimaru said with a smile. Just now I asked when we will discuss, and when he answered, his eyes changed obscurely. I suspect they have already prepared the supplies, but they saw you and I coming to discuss, so they have to prepare and negotiate countermeasures again. I have to say that Narushikaku's IQ is really high. Ibizo really came up with this idea. After coming out of Narushikaku and Orochimaru's residence, Ibizo went straight to his sister, Chiyo's residence. At this time, Chiyo was explaining the knowledge of puppetry to her grandson, Scorpion. After Ibizo went in, he directly told Chiyo about the arrival of Narushikaku and Orochimaru. Are the people from Konoha coming? When Chiyo heard that someone from Konoha was coming, a feeling of grief and indignation arose in her heart. Chiyo remembered clearly what the White Fang of Konoha had done. But what about Narushikaku? The Nara family is really a headache. Chiyo thought for a long time. You go and calm them down. I'll go find Lord Kazakage. Scorpion, you stay home and study puppetry. I'll be back soon. She spoke to Scorpion in a serious tone at first, then kindly. But Scorpion ignored her. Awkward. Kazakage's office. The Nera family. Well, it's really worth redeploying. I'll leave it to you. Also, immediately send people to strengthen protection at important locations such as the intelligence library and database. Orochimaru is not a pushover either. The third Kazakage said. Yes, I get it. Chiyo stepped back after she finished speaking and did what the third Kazakage had told her to do. Shikaku-kun is worthy of being the head of the Nera family. His intelligence is truly extraordinary. Do you have any suggestions? Orochimaru said with a smile. At the same time, he was also appreciated and recognized by Nera Shikaku's intelligence. I suggest that Lord Orochimaru start searching for intelligence now. If I guess correctly, Ibizo will definitely go to Chiyo first, and Chiyo will go to the Kazakage to discuss. And the Kazakage should not only be concerned about me, but also you. With the character of the Kazakage, he will definitely send more people to important locations. Nera Shikaku said calmly. That makes sense. Then I will go ahead. Orochimaru has never been slow in doing things. As soon as the voice fell, Orochimaru turned into a pile of snakes and rushed around. If you have intensive phobia, please don't imagine it. Nera Shikaku's face turned pale. Then he took a long breath and continued to think about the follow-up. Oh no. Lord Kabuto has gone berserk again. It smells like a Konoha ninja. This lord is going to kill him. Kazakage's office. Chiyo returned to the office again. Lord Kazakage, the one-tail smelled the breath of Konoha ninjas. It went berserk again. Chiyo said with a serious face. Hey. It seems that the hatred that Bai Yu left for the one-tail was too great. You go and send more people to protect the important place. I will go to suppress the one-tail. After the third Kazakage finished speaking, he ran towards the one-tail's location without hesitation. However, he didn't know that there was a small figure following behind him. There was a vague murderous intent in his eyes. On the endless desert, Shukaku was attacking and killing the surrounding sand ninjas. In the desert, Shukaku's power was like a tiger with wings, and he was extremely cruel. The scene was extremely bloody. Those ninjas were directly squeezed into particles by Shukaku's desert funeral, and blood and flesh flew everywhere. At this time, the sand with a metallic luster was boiling like a tsunami. It tightly wrapped the one-tail. Overall, Shukaku looked like he was wearing a suit of iron sand clothes, with only his head exposed. Everyone returned to the village. I'm enough here. The third Kazakage shouted very domineeringly. And those sand ninjas who were worried saw the third Kazakage and immediately found the backbone, obeyed the Kazakage's orders, and quickly retreated back to the village. One-tail, why did you hurt the sand ninja? The third Kazakage glared at Shukaku and said. Konoha. I'm going to kill Bai Yu. Shukaku had lost his mind at this time. He raised his head and gave the third Kazakage a tail beast ball. 2 chapters first. Maybe, I'll add more in the afternoon. HMM. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 96. The tree wants to be still, but the wind does not stop. Magnetic release. Sand and iron rain. The third Kazakage formed seals with both hands. Countless sands with metallic luster condensed around him. The sands hit the tailed beast ball like a violent storm. After a while, the tailed beast ball finally exploded under the heavy load. After the third Kazakage consumed a lot of chakra, Shukaku was finally imprisoned by the iron sand and returned to the body of the Jinchuriki. After doing all this, the third Kazakage looked coldly at the unconscious one-tailed Jinchuriki. He ignored him and turned away. But at this time, a small figure appeared behind the third Kazakage. Puff, you are also responsible for the death of my parents. You will become my material, a cage-level material, which should be able to realize my ultimate ideal. The small figure, with a cold face, only had enthusiasm for the material in his eyes, without a trace of other emotions. When the body was completely cold, he put it into the sealing scroll and left as if nothing had happened. Has Lord Kazakage not been found yet? Chiyo has a high status. 3 days have passed. Not only has the Kazakage disappeared, but his grandson Sasori has also disappeared. Only the one-tailed Jinchuriki has been found. No one knows how the news leaked out. The entire Sand Village is discussing the topic of the Kazakage's disappearance. Chiyo had no choice but to stand up. Then, Sasori's disappearance made Chiyo exhausted, but she had to stand up and take charge of the overall situation. This prevented the situation in the Sand Village from deteriorating further. Narashikaku found Ebis. I wonder when we can discuss it? Narashikaku asked. Please forgive me. Some major events have happened recently. I'm afraid it will take a few days. Ebis saw the Konoha ninja forehead protector on Narashikaku. His heart beat wildly a few times. He said calmly, "Oh, I have heard a little about what happened in your village these days. If the Kazakage can't be found in one day, do I have to wait here for another day?" Narashikaku's tone was a little cold, but in fact he was testing. Test whether the sand ninja is leaderless. Test whether the Kazakage is really missing or dead. Test the strength of the current sand ninja seniors. Hearing this, Ebis secretly thought that the Nara family is worthy of being the Nara family. This sharp mind really matches this hairstyle. Haha, funny. Don't worry, Lord Kazakage is just temporarily out on business. Don't believe all the rumors in the village. I will go to speed up the negotiation process. Ebis's words were also very pertinent, and they were true and false. However, even though Ebis attached great importance to the Nara family, he still underestimated Narashikaku. Okay, then please do it as soon as possible. The wisdom in Narashikaku's eyes made Ebis feel depressed, and he didn't know what Narashikaku was thinking. But there was one thing Ebis was very sure of, that is, Narashikaku didn't believe what he said at all. Narashikaku turned and left Ebis's office. He went to find Orochimaru as soon as possible. And Ebis went to find Chiyo as soon as possible. Shikaku-kun, you mean, they will blame us for the disappearance of the Kazakage? And they may even kill us? Orochimaru's eyes were full of coldness. A pair of snake-like eyes made people feel extremely dangerous. Of course, Orochimaru's coldness was not directed at Narashikaku. Yes. According to my judgment, Ibizo is now discussing with Chiyo. Narashikaku said calmly. In this case, let's withdraw to the village and give them a gift. Orochimaru suddenly thought that Shukaku's hatred for Bai Yu seemed to have reached an incredible height. Orochimaru separated a clone, transformed into Bai Yu's appearance, then took out the blood he got from Bai Yu and handed it to the clone. It's up to you. Orochimaru licked his tongue, and a smile flashed across his eyes. Shikaku-kun, let's withdraw to the village. Orochimaru believed in Narashikaku's judgment. Sure enough, when Ibizo told Chiyo all his thoughts, Chiyo looked as if she had suddenly realized something. He said with a determined and hateful face, organize people immediately and kill all the guys from Konoha. Lord Kazakage and Sasori must have been done by Konoha's people. Yes, I'll do it right away. Ibizo hurriedly organized people, but it was too late. The residents of Narashikaku and others had long been deserted, without even a hair. Ibizo's face was livid, and he gritted his teeth and said, I knew the Nara family was not an easy person to deal with. Humph. Retreat. At this time, Shukaku's roar rang out in the village. Bai Yu, come out. I smell your breath. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to eat you alive. Oh no, the one tail is going berserk again. It's over. Lord Kazakage is not here. It's over now. Magnetic escape. Gold sand. Just when people were desperate, a young man wearing a forehead protector stood up. The golden sand, turning the light, condensed into a sea of sand. It wrapped Shukaku bit by bit. It's Lord Rasa. Thank God, we are saved. At this time, damn it. Bai Yu. Tailed beast ball. Shukaku once again lost control and condensed a tailed beast ball in his mouth. Looking at the flying tailed beast ball, Rasa controlled the gold sand to form a curved board, lead the tailed beast ball to the sky, and Shukaku was completely suppressed by Rasa until he returned to the body of the Jinchuriki. For a while, Rasa gained a lot of popularity. Orochimaru and his group, who were running fast, felt their eyes brightened. They stopped immediately. They turned back suddenly. They saw an energy ball rising rapidly with the sand village as the center. Then it exploded in the air. This scene was really spectacular. At this moment, Orochimaru and Narushikaku felt relieved. Orochimaru used the clone to seduce Shukaku. Then when Shukaku found out and ran away, he led him to the village, and then sprinkled blood on the ground to release the clone. Orochimaru and Narushikaku looked at each other, smiled slightly, and accelerated towards Konoha village again. Kumogakya. Pass the order. Sand village will not attack for the time being. I didn't expect it. The sand village, which was thought to be leaderless, actually had another Ratsa with magnetic ninjutsu bloodline limit in addition to Chiyo. In the Raikage's office, the burly Raikage issued an order. Rock village. Lord Tsuchikage. When will we attack sand village? Baka. The Raikage didn't take action. There must be new changes. Stay prepared and be ready for war at any time. The little Tsuchikage, floating in the air, said majestically, yes. As soon as Orochimaru, Narushikaku and others returned to Konoha village, they hurried to Sarutobi Hiruzen to report the situation. When Sarutobi Hiruzen heard the news, his face suddenly changed. He quickly convened another Konoha high-level meeting. This meeting, everyone, including Bai Yu, had no smile on their faces and was full of seriousness and caution. It's true that the tree wants to be quiet, but the wind does not stop. 3 more chapters. Complete. Chapter 97. Successive graduations. Does it look like war is about to start again? This world is really not peaceful enough. Bai Yu sighed on the way home. But there was no confirmed information. Bai Yu had to order the Dragon Group to make more weapons with relatively high consumption, such as kunai or shuriken. At the same time, he also asked Uchiha Mikoto to purchase a large number of detonating tags in case of emergency. Even Tsunade was not left idle by Bai Yu, but was asked to prepare a large number of hemostatic drugs. It was the blood coagulation powder developed by Bai Yu himself. Bai Yu told Tsunade the formula, and under Tsunade's admiring eyes, Bai Yu, imagination. Yeah. The ninja school is open again. Kakashi really applied for early graduation. Then Kakashi successfully graduated after a series of assessments. At the entrance of the ninja school, Might Guy, Uchiha Obito, Nohara Rin, and Uchiha Shizu were waiting for Kakashi. Because they all trained with Bai Yu, they were already familiar with each other. Kakashi, congratulations on your early graduation. Nohara Rin was the first to say with a smile. However, seeing that Nohara Rin was so concerned about Kakashi, Uchiha Obito was not happy. TSK, isn't it just graduating early? I can do it too. Uchiha Obito said proudly with his head raised. Yoshi, Obito-san really has this fiery youth. I want to graduate early too. Might Guy showed his white teeth, raised his thumbs, and said passionately with the background of the sea behind him. Then I'll try it too. Uchiha Shizu said thoughtfully. And me. I want to form a class with Kakashi. And Obito. Nohara Rin said excitedly, but felt a resentful look next to her, and quickly added the owner of this look, Obito. Bai Yu is an NPC with a cheat, and comes with a special effect of teaching. Now the strength of these people is like riding a rocket. It can be completely comparable to the strength of elite genin. It's better to follow me to find Bai Yu teacher, TSK. Kakashi rolled his eyes at Uchiha Obito. He said disdainfully, Kakashi, tomorrow I will go to the teacher to apply for early graduation. Let's see how I graduate early. Hey. Stop, Kakashi, you bastard. Uchiha Obito wanted to say a few more harsh words. As a result, Kakashi ignored Uchiha Obito and walked away. Obito, let's go. Kakashi is treating us today. Youth does not allow a meal to be wasted. Except for Might Guy who left just after speaking, there was no one around Uchiha Obito. In the distance, Uchiha Shizu walked calmly beside Kakashi, and Nohara Rin followed Kakashi like a little fangirl. Looking at Kakashi's back, he was extremely focused. Might Guy ran to steps, put his hand on Uchiha Shizu's shoulder, and talked and laughed with Uchiha Shizu. I have a bleak scene, you bastards! Exclamation mark. Uchiha Obito was about to turn around and leave proudly. Goo, I'm not eating because I'm hungry. Well, I'm going to eat that bastard Kakashi. Yeah. That's it. Rin. Wait for me. Uchiha Obito ran towards Nohara Rin with a smile on his face. What? You all are going to graduate early? except for Uchiha Shizu, my guy, Nohara and Uchiha Obito, all stood in a row, and Uchiha Shizu stood in front of the other teachers. Yes, teacher. My guy, Uchiha Obito, and Nohara said in unison. Incomparably neat. In that case, then okay. The teacher rubbed his temple helplessly. Afterwards, except for Might Guy who waited for a long time before passing the graduation exam, everyone else had already passed the exam successfully. Only because of Might Guy's ninjutsu, the teacher thought for a long time before letting Might Guy pass the graduation exam. When Might Guy raised his white teeth and held the ninja forehead protector in his hand, Uchiha Shizu, Uchiha Obito, Nohara including Kakashi, all smiled. But Kakashi's smile was hidden behind the mask, showing the same pair of dead fish eyes. The next day, several people made an appointment. Came to Bai Yu's house. Teacher Bai Yu. We all graduated early. Bai Yu looked at the 5 children in front of him with a grateful smile, took out the forehead protector, and showed it to Bai Yu. For a moment, Bai Yu felt happy. There was a feeling of relief. Ahem. You are all great. You make me proud. Have you been assigned to guide the Jonin? Bai Yu said with a smile. I haven't been assigned yet. Uchiha Obito said. Me too. Nohara said. Speaking of Nohara, basically all of Nohara's medical ninjutsu were taught by Bai Yu. Because Tsunade's teaching style is only suitable for teaching ninjas with excellent medical talents. After Bai Yu knew about it, he didn't say anything and directly stopped the job of teaching Nohara. Because of my instant body skills, I was specially recruited into the Anbu. However, when Mr. Bai Yu recruits again for the Dragon Team, I will join the Dragon Team. Uchiha Shizu said hurriedly, fearing that Bai Yu would misunderstand him and think that he had forgotten Bai Yu's teachings. And me, I was also specially recruited into the Anbu because of my physical skills. When Mr. Bai Yu recruits again, I will also join the Dragon Team. Might Guy also explained with a serious face. You two little brats, Bai Yu, am not so narrow-minded. Everyone has their own path to choose. They also have their own ninja way. If I ask you to join the Dragon Team, just because I taught you, then what is the difference between me and the former route? In addition, joining the Dragon Team requires an assessment. You think you can join if you want to, haha. However, I'm looking forward to your outstanding performance in the Dragon Team selection in the future. I'm looking forward to it. Bai Yu said with a smile. Brother Sakumo, I'm sorry, not only your son, but also the two seedlings you like, are probably mine. Bai Yu knows the meaning of the two words special recruitment and special recruitment in the Anbu. To put it bluntly, those who can be specially recruited into the Anbu are all talents favored by Hatake Sakumo or the Hokage. I have not been assigned a guiding Jonin either, but I hope that Mr. Bai Yu can be my guiding Jonin. Kakashi said. I want to, too, but I don't want to be in the same class with Kakashi. Uchiha Obito said excitedly at first, then thought of something, and raised his head with disdain. I understand. After all, I have been teaching you all this time. Who says that guiding Jonin must teach you ninjutsu or something like that? The guiding Jonin is responsible for teaching you how to become a qualified ninja. Teach you how to perform tasks perfectly. Every Jonin ninja who can become a guiding Jonin is undoubtedly an outstanding ninja. And you are lucky to be assigned a Jonin. Generally, only the best graduates can be assigned to Jonin. Generally, the strength of guiding ninjas is mostly in the level of Chunin. Because you were taught by me, Bai Yu, that's why I asked you if you were assigned a guiding Jonin. Bai Yu said with a smile. Chapter 98 5 consecutive harvests. That means there is still a chance to become Bai Yu's disciple. Disciple Uchiha Shizu. Meet Bai Yu. Uchiha Shizu's eyes lit up, not giving Bai Yu a chance to speak. He bowed and said, Disciple Might Guy, meet the teacher. What surprised everyone was that Might Guy's reaction speed this time made everyone stunned. Then, in addition to Kakashi, Uchiha Obito and Nohara also bowed and said. Only Kakashi stood aside calmly. Kakashi, hurry up. Nohara said anxiously. I was already the teacher's disciple last year. I'm the eldest brother. Kakashi said very calmly. Oh my god. Kakashi, you bastard. Too shameless. Uchiha Obito said angrily. Even Bai Yu was shocked. I didn't expect that Kakashi, who has always been very cold, would have such a shameless moment. If Kakashi knew Bai Yu's thoughts, he would definitely say, Bai Yu teacher, you are one-sided. You 5 brats. Really? A mentor is also half a teacher. You will make it difficult for the mentor like this. Bai Yu said helplessly. I don't care. I don't care. I have chosen you for my life. Uchiha looked miserable and hugged his thigh. Nohara blushed for Uchiha. Uchiha Shizu, Kakashi, and Might Guy looked around as if they didn't recognize him. Hurry up. Bai Yu said helplessly and picked up Uchiha. I accept the 5 of you as my disciples. I will send this message. But since you have become my disciples, I want to tell you the rules that you must abide by as my Bai Yu's disciples. As the saying goes, there is no order without rules. First, you must not bully the weak. You must not use the abilities I have given you to bully others. Second, you must not be arrogant. Don't think that you are my Bai Yu's disciples and you can be unscrupulous and look down on others. Third, you must not kill innocent people indiscriminately. Of course, you don't have to kill enemies. If you encounter enemies, you must kill them all. Fourth, you 5 must live in harmony and must not kill each other. 5. Bai Yu said the rules with an extremely stern face. The 5 people listened very seriously. Did you remember? Bai Yu asked sternly after he finished speaking. Remember. The 5 people said with serious faces. Well, the instructor of the Jonin is also equivalent to your teacher. No matter who it is, you must treat him with courtesy. Remember? Bai Yu said with a smile. Remember. The 5 people nodded again and said. After chatting with the 5 people for a while, Bai Yu personally grilled skewers for them to congratulate them because the 5 children graduated early. Of course, the eating process was horrible. Even Tsunade and Mikoto helped Bai Yu, which made Uchiha and Might Guy eat smoothly. Where is the modified Konoha White Fang, Kakashi? What weapons do you 4 want? Bai Yu looked at the 5 people lying on the ground and touching their stomachs and said with a smile, I want a double-edged sword like my teacher. I find that such ninja tools are more flexible and changeable. Uchiha Shizu thought for a while and said, I want a nunchaku. Might Guy said, I'm a medical ninja, so I don't want it. Nohara said with a blushing face, why not? A light armor is fine. Uchiha said anxiously. Bai Yu's forehead suddenly had 3 black lines, and everyone once again didn't recognize Uchiha expression. Finally, Uchiha Shizu had a double-edged long sword, Might Guy had a nunchaku, Nohara had a set of light armor, and Uchiha had a special short blade. Teacher, can I add some live steel to Konoha White Fang? Kakashi said. Didn't you add it last time? Bai Yu asked in surprise. The value of live steel is too high. I didn't feel comfortable adding it last time. Kakashi said. Really? When you have time, go to the dragon group with them. And you guys, use the good materials. Don't save money for me. Bai Yu said proudly. Teacher, long live. Uchiha let out a strange roar. Once again, he was despised by everyone. The 5 people were very fast and ran to the dragon group early the next morning. And Bai Yu was not idle either. He directly spread the news that he would accept Uchiha Shizu, Hatake Kakashi, Uchiha Nohara, and Might Guy as his disciples throughout Konoha. That afternoon, Hatake Tsukumo hurried home. He saw Kakashi practicing in the yard. He quickly approached and asked, where did you 5 go to Bai Yu yesterday? Yes, father. Didn't I tell you? Kakashi said inexplicably. Didn't he tell his father? I thought you were the only one going. Uchiha Shizu, did you and Might Guy say you wanted to join the dragon team? Hatake Tsukumo asked. They did. Kakashi didn't want to answer, but this was his father, so he had to tell the truth. Hiss. Kakashi, do you also want to join the dragon team? Hatake Tsukumo closed his eyes, took a breath, then opened his eyes, and looked at Kakashi and asked. Kakashi didn't say anything. But Hatake Tsukumo raised Kakashi, since he was a child. How could he not know Kakashi's intentions? That Uchiha and Nohara, not to mention. Damn. Hatake Tsukumo finished speaking, looking around calmly. Then he walked quietly to the ninja tool storage room. Father, what are you going to do? Kakashi thought to himself that something was wrong and asked quickly. What should I do? Nothing. I'll just find a knife that's handy. Hatake Tsukumo said with a smile. However, Kakashi detected a huge wave of anger in Hatake Tsukumo's eyes. Why are you looking for a knife for no reason? Kakashi walked to Hatake Tsukumo and asked. I'm going to chop up that bastard Bai Yu. I finally found 2 promising seedlings. I finally talked to the Hokage about the personnel allocation. Bai Yu got the rabbit. He even snatched my son. Bastard, I have to chop him a few times today. Hatake Tsukumo finally couldn't help it and shouted angrily. Father, don't do this. You can't beat teacher Bai Yu. Kakashi hugged Hatake Tsukumo and said hurriedly. Let me go. I won't look for a knife. Hatake Tsukumo felt sad and stopped moving. Kakashi let go of Hatake Tsukumo half believingly. Hatake Tsukumo walked out without saying a word. Father, where are you going? Kakashi's eyes flashed with vigilance, and he moved closer to Hatake Tsukumo. I'm going to buy a piece of tofu and see if I can kill myself. If I can't, I'll have tofu soup tonight. Hatake Tsukumo said aggrievedly. I'll go with you. Kakashi was still worried, afraid that Hatake Tsukumo would go to Mr. Bai Yu's house after he went out. You in fact, Hatake Tsukumo really planned to go to Bai Yu's house. You even stole my precious son away, so why don't you give me some benefits? But seeing Kakashi's look, Hatake Tsukumo had no choice but to take Kakashi to buy tofu. But this journey made Hatake Tsukumo even more sad. Congratulations, Kakashi. You have become a disciple of Master Bai Yu. Sure, Kakashi. Follow Master Bai Yu to practice well. Hatake Tsukumo wants to buy a piece of frozen tofu. Chapter 3. I'll post it in the afternoon. I'm really a little sleepy. I've been busy moving these 2 days. Chapter 99. It has been 3 days since Hatake Tsukumo got into trouble. On this afternoon, Minato Namikaze came to Bai Yu's house with a strange look on his face. Bai Yu was a little strange. Minato, what's wrong with you? Bai Yu asked while sitting in the yard drinking tea with Minato Namikaze. Minato Namikaze looked a little embarrassed. Look, just tell me what you want to say. Bai Yu said proudly. I'm the guiding Jonin of Obito, Kakashi, and Rin. Minato Namikaze said awkwardly. So that's it. You want to ask about the situation and personality of these 3 children, right? Bai Yu said with a smile. That's it, but compared to these 3 children, are they your apprentices? I'm a little embarrassed. Minato Namikaze was relieved when he heard Bai Yu's words. According to Bai Yu's strength, he is fully capable of teaching these 3 children alone. And he has already issued a notice to accept 3 children as apprentices. But the Hokage insisted on teaching the 3 children to himself, and Minato Namikaze was very embarrassed. What's the big deal? You are also very good. It is an honor for the 3 children to have a teacher like you. Moreover, your ninjutsu is very suitable for the 3 children. Bai Yu said with a smile. Then let me tell you about the 3 children. Nohara-rin is very gentle and considerate, and has a solid foundation in medical ninjutsu. Kakashi is very good at lightning escape and swordsmanship, but his personality is a little cold, which may be affected by the incident with Hatake Tsukumo. He always hesitates between the mission and his companions, and is at a loss. Uchiha Obito is good at chakra transformation. I taught him this. He was very bad at chakra control before, so I changed the way to teach him. I didn't expect this child to really regard this as his own style. He has a cheerful personality, but sometimes he is too arrogant. Bai Yu paused when he said this. In short, these 3 children are kind-hearted. Kakashi's strength is probably at the level of an elite genin. As for Uchiha Obito, he can barely reach the level of an elite genin. Nohara-rin is a medical ninja, and is unwilling to learn some physical skills, so her strength is at the level of a genin. Bai Yu said, and took a sip of tea. Well, I understand. Thank you Bai Yu. But I have one more thing. Namikaze Minato said with a bit of embarrassment. What is it? Are you going to marry Kushina? Bai Yu said with a smirk. No. How could it be? I haven't proposed yet. Namikaze Minato said with a blushing face. Do you want me to help you plan it? Bai Yu said with a smile. This is the 3rd thing I want to talk about today. I saw your proposal ceremony with Uchiha Fugaku the other day. I also want to do one, and give Kushina a different proposal. But I still have some ninjutsu things I need to ask you. Namikaze Minato said. Oh. You are known as a genius in the ninja world. What ninjutsu can be difficult for you? Come, let me see. It must be very interesting. Bai Yu's eyes lit up and said. Look at this jutsu. It's called Rasengan. After Namikaze Minato finished speaking, a blue ball of wind attribute appeared in his hand. Chakra was spinning wildly in this ball. Bai Yu saw at a glance that this ninjutsu was unusual. It was a bit like the tailed beast ball that Shukaku released that time. Minato, your ninjutsu is unusual. Bai Yu said with a little surprise. This is based on the tailed beast ball released by the tailed beast. There is also this enhanced version of the super large dual Rasengan. Namikaze Minato finished speaking. The Rasengan in his hand was a size larger, and the chakra in the center was a little green. The chakra lines were clearly visible. However, after releasing it for a while, Namikaze Minato took back the chakra. It's a bit of a waste of chakra. I took it back first. I now have an idea, that is, to create an ninjutsu that saves chakra and has offensive power based on the Rasengan. But I don't have any clues. I want to come and ask you. Namikaze Minato's signature smile was overflowing on his face. Rasengan. It requires a stable ninjutsu. And it is a sealless ninjutsu. It requires the control of chakra and the change of its attributes. Yes, you can work on the change of attributes. For example, like this. Bai Yu pondered for a while. An idea suddenly appeared in his mind. A wind bird condensed in his hand. Complex chakra threads were all over the body of the bird. Even a wing was condensed with countless tiny chakra lines. The wind bird spread its wings and soared in the air. It returned to Bai Yu's palm. Bai Yu took back the chakra, and the wind bird gradually disappeared. Namikaze Minato was stunned. You are so amazing. This technique has very high requirements for the change of chakra attributes. It also reaches the extreme control of chakra. But in the end, when you controlled the wind bird to fly out, did you use the eye technique? I don't quite understand. Namikaze Minato said in surprise. That is, when the chakra attribute changes to the extreme, it will affect the surrounding natural energy and thus resonate with the chakra. At this time, the chakra can be controlled. Of course, the distance still requires a certain level of perception of the attribute chakra. That is, the chakra attribute changes. Bai Yu said. Is that so? I understand. You are really amazing. Namikaze Minato said with sudden enlightenment. No, the reason why I can think of this is because Uchiha Obito is too active. He can't practice chakra control calmly. So according to the nature of chakra, a ninjutsu was developed. Obito is now staying on chakra control. There will be chakra attribute changes and chakra perception in the future. It is similar to yours, but is his fire attribute. I don't know if this kid has secretly practiced other attributes. Bai Yu said with a smile. I know. Thank you. Namikaze Minato said embarrassedly. What are you thanking me for? Brother, I'll also think of the proposal ceremony for you. No, I have to call Fugaku, Missy, Makoto, and Tsunade here to give you advice. Haha. Bai Yu said with a laugh. Haha. I'll leave first. Namikaze Minato blushed and left quickly. Hey, you're leaving now, don't you want to eat? Bai Yu shouted at the figure of Namikaze Minato leaving quickly. No. Kushina did it. Namikaze Minato said, and ran away with a flying thunder god. Oh my god. Is it that serious? A man is so shy? It seems that. Hehe. I have to save another shy man. Bai Yu showed a sly smile at the corner of his mouth. However, it is not known whether Minato's proposal ceremony can go smoothly. It seems that this matter must be handled quickly. According to the intelligence, the situation in the ninja world is really bad. All ninja villages are ready to go, and they are just missing a fuse. This fuse is likely to be the disappearance of the Kazakage. And looking at the actions of the Rock Village and the Cloud Village, this time it is very likely to be a 4-village war. Although the Water Village has not made any moves for the time being, it is close to the sea, and once there is any movement, it is not so easy to detect. Bai Yu thought to himself, and couldn't help but get excited. Tailed Beast Power Bank. Whether the strength of these ninja villages can be quickly improved to Uchiha Madara and defeat him depends on the tailed beasts of these ninja villages. Exclamation mark. except for the Nine Tails. However, after killing the Nine Tails, Kushina can also be saved, but if it is killed, Utatane Koharu and Mitokadoen will be in trouble again. Should I kill them or not? Bai Yu was entangled. 3 chapters today, finished. Tomorrow's 3 chapters should be late, because Mustard is jumping outside. Haha. Chapter 100 Uchihirobito's Wit. A small forest next to Konoha village. Nohara-rin was the first to come here. Kakashi was the second. After a long time, Uchihirobito finally came. Obito, why are you here just now? This is the first time I meet the guiding Jonin. Okay. Nohara-rin said unhappily. That. I helped an old lady carry some heavy objects. So I came late. I will pay attention next time, Rin. Uchihirobito explained hurriedly. The last one. Kakashi said indifferently. Asshole. Kakashi. Who are you calling the last one? I haven't been one for a long time. Okay. Uchihirobito was furious. The last one for 10,000 years. Kakashi looked at Uchihirobito with disdain while holding a long sword. This look. I can't stand it. Kakashi, do you want to fight? Take my fire that destroys evil. Uchihirobito raised his hand and a flame attacked Kakashi. Blue lightning flashed. The long sword that Kakashi was holding instantly appeared in his hand, and a sword shadow with lightning attribute chakra was attached. The flames dissipated instantly. Uchihirobito rushed into Kakashi's arms with a look of surprise. At this time, Kakashi's dead fish eyes also showed a trace of panic. Uchihirobito's momentum pushed the 2 people down. Uchihirobito kissed Kakashi on the forehead. As luck would have it, Namikaze Minato appeared beside the 2 people with a flying thunder god style. Nohara-rin was stunned. Namikaze Minato was also stunned. Uchihirobito and Kakashi were also stunned. Ahem. The relationship between you two is really good. Namikaze Minato coughed twice and said with a smile. Obito. I'm going to kill you. Kakashi pushed Uchihirobito away and shouted angrily. Kakashi, you bastard. I saved this kiss for him. Damn it. Uchihirobito shouted with regret. Nohara-rin, who was standing next to him, blushed when she heard what Uchihirobito said, then she returned to normal, put on a serious face, and walked over. Stop it. The teacher is here. Nohara-rin said. Uchihirobito snorted after hearing what Nohara-rin said, and glanced away. TSK. Kakashi also glanced away. Okay. From now on, everyone may be members of the same class. Let's introduce ourselves first. Rin, let's start with you. Namikaze Minato said with a smile. What? The teacher already knows our names. I was just thinking about how to introduce myself. Uchihirobito said with a pout. But you don't know me yet. Namikaze Minato said. Namikaze Minato. The beloved disciple of Jiraiya-sama, one of the 3 ninjas of Konoha. Kakashi said lightly. Okay. But I still have to introduce myself. This way we can get to know each other better. These are all known through others, so there must be some shortcomings. Namikaze Minato touched his nose and said with a smile. Teacher Minato's smile is so charming. Nohara-rin said to herself. My name is Nohara-rin. I hope to be the best partner with Kakashi and Obito forever. Nohara-rin's self-introduction made Uchihirobito ascend from hell to heaven and then return to the human world. My name is Uchihirobito. The most annoying person is Kakashi. Uchihirobito said weakly. My name is Hatake Kakashi. Kakashi's self-introduction only said 7 words. Kakashi, tell me what you like and what are your hobbies, so that I can get to know you better. Namikaze Minato said with a smile. But in his heart, he thought that it was just like what you said, a little cold. Okay. My name is Namikaze Minato. Hobbies. Namikaze Minato made a very comprehensive self-introduction. He spoke very kindly. Teacher Minato is really gentle. Nohara-rin said to himself. Okay. Next, we have to take an assessment. If you fail, you will return to the ninja school to continue studying. Namikaze Minato said with a smile. Minato teacher is not cute at all. Nohara-rin thought to himself. Come on. Minato teacher. I will never go back to the ninja school. I'm invincible. Uchihirobito said arrogantly. Sure enough, you was right. Sometimes, Uchihirobito is really. Namikaze Minato thought to himself. Grab the bell. If you can grab the bell from me, you will pass. There are only 2 bells. That is to say, one of you has to go back to the ninja school to continue studying. Namikaze Minato put away his smile and said with a serious face, "Hey, teacher. Can you let me see these 2 bells?" Uchiha Obito said with a thoughtful expression. "Huh? What's wrong?" Namikaze Minato was stunned for a moment and asked with a puzzled look. "I feel these 2 bells are so strange. I have a guts. How to say it? Teacher, let me see them, and I will give them back to you." Uchiha Obito said anxiously. "Ah. Alright then." Minato Namikaze saw Uchiha Obito's look and had no choice but to give the bell to Uchiha Obito first. Uchiha Obito got the bell. "Well, these 2 bells. I got them. Haha. Teacher Bai Yu once said that as a ninja, you must not only be strong, but also have a flexible mind. Haha. This grandpa is simply a genius." Uchiha Obito said arrogantly. "Come on. Rin, this is yours. This, Kakashi, although this grandpa hates you very much, but this is for you. I'm used to being the last one. It doesn't matter if I go back, but it doesn't mean that this grandpa doesn't hate you anymore." Uchiha Obito said with a forced smile. This wave of operations made Minato Namikaze's resentment towards Bai Yu continue to deepen. And Nohara first gave a thumbs up, and even Kakashi had some approval for Uchiha Obito. But neither of them took the bell. "I don't want to accept the gift of being the last one." Although Kakashi's words were foul, they all knew that Kakashi didn't want Uchiha Obito to go back to the ninja school to study again. "I don't want to. We are partners. If we want to stay, we stay together. If we want to leave, we leave together." Nohara said with a smile. "Rin, I knew you couldn't leave me," Uchiha Obito said with a very touched face. Nohara smiled, a little helpless, but still smiled. "Minato teacher, I'll give you the bell back. We've decided. If we want to leave, we leave together. If we want to stay, we stay together," Uchiha Obito said with a firm face as he returned the bell to Namikaze Minato. Namikaze Minato still had some resentment in his heart. But seeing this scene, he smiled in his heart, but his face was still very serious. "In that case, well then I declare, you." Namikaze Minato's face was extremely serious. Gurgle. Uchiha Obito swallowed nervously. "You passed. Congratulations." Namikaze Minato's serious face instantly showed a smile like the sun. Huh. The 3 were very surprised. "Your teacher Bai Yu. There is a very classic saying. That is, ninjas who break the rules are trash, but ninjas who don't cherish their companions are even worse than trash." I agree with this sentence. So, the content of today's assessment is to see whether you cherish your companions. Protect the village. Protect your companions. This is also my ninja way. Namikaze Minato said with a smile. "Great." Uchiha Obito couldn't help but waved his fist and said with a smile. Kakashi's dead fish eyes couldn't help but have a smile. Nohara also smiled and made a victory gesture to Uchiha Obito! Exclamation mark. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.